Chairman, the next case is
He's,
3 seconds. On the live.
Honorable members, the first case is is Louis George, the Two Louis Cantina LLC, trade name Two Louis Cantina Bar and Grill. This is at 200 South Haven Street. This is a Class B beer and wine license. This is a violation of Rule 418. The applicant has asked for a the licensee has asked for a postponement request regarding this matter, and it has been rescheduled for August the 8th.
any objections? Hearing none, postpone. Call the next one.
I'm sorry, August the 7th, pardon me, excuse me, for the record. The next item is Christopher Noisy and Masumi Situo. This is Taste International, trade name Taste International. This is located at 4314-16 Curtis Avenue. This is a Class B beer, wine, and liquor license, a violation of Rule 418. There's a request for postponement that we were unable to serve this for August the 7th. This item has been moved to August the 7th if it's approved by the board.
Any objections? Case postponed.
The next case is for David Estebel and Alice Opal. This is at 418 South Clinton Street. Trade name Irish Pub, 418 South Clinton Street. This is a Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor. This is a violation of Rule 418. No licensee shall commit or allow the commission on his or her premises of any act that shall be contrary to federal, state, and local law or ordinance against the public peace, safety, health, quiet, or morals. This is regarding an October 4th, 2003, no valid trader's license.
Abraham Hurdle for the Irish Pub and Alice Opel and David Estep.
I'd be glad to hear from you.
Should we have them sworn in? Because I will be asking them.
All right, swear the witnesses.
Raise your hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Before you start, let's find out, where's our prosecution witness?
The controller's office should be here.
Where's the police officer?
This is a comptroller's office case.
Oh, where's the comptroller's office? Where's Mr. Hollingsworth?
Mr. Hollingsworth,
Where is he?
he should be here. He's not here yet. Judge, may I ask to hold this, or would,
I'm going to set it aside for a minute. If necessary, we'll call him.
okay.
Go ahead, call the next one.
Okay.
Excuse me, just with regard to that, one of my clients does have to go to work, and he's already running late. If we could
Want to
take
take
a
his
break
testimony?
very briefly.
Sure.
So, just,
Okay.
Come on back up.
I don't have any testimony yet. I just would like to say that
What's that name? Okay,
What do you want to say?
we'll wait. I just want to hope we're not going to hold till 4 o'clock. That's my only concern.
thank you.
Oh.
We'll have staff to give him a call right now to
You
see
really
what.
think I'm going to hold this to 4 o'clock? No, if Mr. Hollingsworth is not here, the case will have to be disposed of. We're going to give him the opportunity to get here.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, the next case is George Zanegas, Sherry's Show Bar. This is TA, trade name Sherry's Show Bar. This is at 3821 Pulaski Highway. This is a Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor. This is a violation of adult entertainment rules. There is a request for postponement, and this matter has been tentatively scheduled for August 7th, 2014.
Are there any objections to the postponement? Hearing none, case postponed.
Thank you, sir. The next item is Frank Shaw's and Lauren Cummings and Mark Rosenberg's Kimco Inc., trade name Fantasies. That's at 5520 Pennington Avenue. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 303. The licensee shall keep their premises records containing the legal names, aliases, addresses, ages, and social security numbers of all persons employed by them. Such records shall be open for inspections at the time of duly represented by the board, the police department of Baltimore City, and other government agencies. This is regarding a November 5th violation, no employee records for 14 dancers working at the establishment.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, David F. Mr. Winter and Bartlett, representing the respondents today. Mr. Shawless, whose licensee is here. Ms. Cummings, who is licensee, is seated in the gallery with the...
I don't want to cut you off, counsel, but I'm having trouble looking on the other side and seeing where the prosecution witnesses are. What's going on here?
I believe that they are here from the police department. Sergeant Lesher should be here. So we didn't, and Detective Greenhill?
Any members of the department here?
I did.
Maybe you better get on the
You
phone.
can get on the, but just, so you can talk to the mic. I'm sorry. I'm just telling you. Yes, I know that, but you identify yourself. That's all right.
I'm Detective Akiwande from the Baltimore City Vice Unit. Detective Greenhill is on his way. He is less than a minute away.
For this case?
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we'll set it aside for a moment.
Yes, I did. I will make that clear, crystal clear. The next one is this detective's case, so we can go to that one if you'd like, Chair. So the Juanita Sewell, that is his case.
Go ahead.
So the next case is Juanita Sewell, Young Un UL Liquors, and this is trade name Schuster's Liquors. This is located at 1231 West Baltimore. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 401A. No licensee shall furnish alcohol to any person under 21 years old or any persons with the knowledge that such persons purchasing, acquiring such beverages for consumption by any person under 21 years of age. This is from January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to a minor cadet. The detective is here and the licensee is here, sir.
David Wu, representing UL Liquors Inc.
And you're representing the licensee?
Licensees, and they are not here today.
Who's not here?
The licensees are not,
No.
they are out of town at this point.
They're what?
They're out of town,
Out of town. So you're going to represent them?
yes.
Okay. All right, sir. Swear the witness. No, swear any witnesses.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, come over to the microphone and give us your name.
I'm Detective Akiwande from the Baltimore City Vice Unit.
All right, directing your attention to the 31st of January, 2014, did you have occasion to go to 1231-33 West Baltimore Street?
Yes, I did.
And what, if anything, did you find and what happened at that time?
If I can refer to my report.
Sure.
On January 31st, 2014 at 8:50 p.m., I, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing a Baltimore Police Cadet, Gregory McCoy III, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at Schuster's Liquors, located at 1231 to 33 West Baltimore Street. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21, enter the aforementioned location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for 1 pint of Black Watch vodka, an alcoholic beverage from the store clerk. John Sung Moon, date of birth of 9/9/87. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $4 with previously marked $20 bill. Mr. Moon accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mr. Moon request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buyer's investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, Sergeant Detective Leisha, Detective Greenhill, and I entered Schuster's Liquor, located at 1231 West Baltimore Street, and advised Mr. Moon that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who is under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was photographed with a purchased alcohol beverage. Detective Greenhill retrieved the departmental $20 bill from the store register, and the change was returned back to Mr. Moon. The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment. The store was left under the control of Mr. Moon. All events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
And you have any other evidence?
Not at this time.
Right. questions?
Actually, no questions.
All right, I'll be glad to hear from you, sir.
I didn't ask any questions because we do admit to the violation. And the person who violated was a temporary employee of the licensee, and he was not acquainted with the premises and the business practices there that well. And at this point, also, the licensee is out of town, and we're in the process of transferring the business assets to a new buyer, so there was some disorganization there too. So we would like to just have the board consider these factors before you make the decision.
All right.
Thank you.
I see here, you said a not in good standing. What does that mean?
That's under their corporate charter. It currently has not been renewed, so they need to make sure that they take care of that.
And
Mr.
what did you say?
That their corporate charter had not been renewed, and they need to make sure they take care of that.
I wasn't aware of that, but I'll take care of it.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any questions for the police or anybody? No, not the police. And you have a previous happening, is that correct?
One other time, I believe, and it's actually, I was told it's the same situation where another temporary employee, because of the situation right now. So it will be transferred in the next 2 months, and it will be going into a capable hands, so there won't be any more violations in the
Fine.
future.
And anybody else, any questions? No? Well, in view of the past record of one violation of the same thing, I believe, the fine is $1,000. How much time do you need to pay it?
I need about 30 days.
30 days. And the commissioners, your vote? I find you responsible for the happening.
Yeah, I'll go with 1,000. I'm just concerned, and that's all, just a little concern. Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
All right. Fine is 1,000. You have 30 days in which to pay. You're welcome.
Can I see you down here, sir?
Call the next case.
Chair, I would like to go back because we do have the officer for the fantasies case, so I'll read that into the record.
All right, in which case?
That would be the Frank Shaw's case. We do have that officer here.
All right, call that case again.
That's Frank Shaw's and Lloyd Cummings and Mark Rosenberg, Kimiko Inc., trade name Fantasies. That's at 5520 Pennington Avenue. This is a Class BD7 and a violation of Rule 3.03C. And I read that previously in the record.
All right. Be glad to hear from you, sir, again.
Again, good afternoon, Your Honor. David F. Mr. Bartlett, representing the respondents here today. We have Mr. Shawless here, who's a long-term licensee. We have Ms. Cummings, who normally is in a wheelchair. If it's all right, we won't have her come up to the bench unless the board needs to ask questions of her. Unfortunately, Mr. Rosenberg is on business in California. I hope the board will excuse his presence today since we have the other two licensees here. We're ready to proceed with the
All right,
detective's
swear the
testimony.
witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Officer, state your name for the record.
Detective L.C. Greenhill III, SES Vice.
Now, on the date of the 5th of November, 2013, did you have occasion to go to the location of 5520 Pennington Avenue in the city of Baltimore?
Yes, sir.
And what, if anything, did you find and what happened?
On 5/13 of 22:15 hours, which would have been 10:15 p.m., you're right along with Detective Shelton Jones as well as members of SES Vice conducted a licensed liquor establishment check at Fantasies located at 5520 Pennington Avenue. The Vice unit conducted the check following an anonymous complaint of no employee records on the premises at the Fantasies nightclub. Upon our arrival, Detective Jones met with manager John Painter, who was in operational control of the premises for that evening. Detective Jones advised Mr. Painter we were there conducting a check of the establishment and accessing employee records. Mr. Painter advised Detective Jones he did not have access to the employee records and furthermore wasn't sure if employee records were on the premises at that time. At the time of the check, there were 14 employees at the establishment, some of which did not possess a proper identification so they could be readily identified. As a result, members of SES Vice physically identified every employee on the premises either by their identification and/or direct interview of the individual employee. Below I typed the list of employees that were working at Fantasies on the evening of 5 November 2013. Would you like me to read off the,
What else do you want to say?
saying, do you want me to read off all the employees'
I don't think it's necessary to read off the names of the, I waive his reading it. I do.
There were 3 other dancers only identified by the stage names of Alston, Corey, and Taylor that had left earlier prior to the Vice unit's arrival. Mr. Painter tried several times to make contact with the above-mentioned licensees, which led to negative results. Mr. Painter did not make contact with manager Cal Brockdorf, whom Detective Jones spoke with by phone. Mr. Brockdorf advised Detective Jones he did not have access to the employee records as well, and wasn't sure where the employee records were located. Detective Jones advised Mr. Brockdorf that he could be closed due to lack of cooperation concerning the whereabouts of the employee records. Mr. Brockdorf did advise Detective Jones he would try to locate said employees' records and have them ready for inspection by the Vice Unit by the next business day of operation. As a result, the establishment remained open and was left in the control of duty manager, Mr. Painter, who was more than cooperative during the Vice Unit's investigation.
Any
Reports.
questions?
I do have a couple, Your Honor. Detective, did you actually have the conversation with Mr. Brockdorf, or was it one of the other detectives?
It was one of the other detectives.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, did Mr. Brockdorf not explain that they were in the process of doing some remodeling there, and the records were on premises, but he tried to assist the manager in locating them, but he could not come down to the premises at that time because he had 2 young children at home, and he was the only one to supervise them?
Well, I didn't have that conversation with him, and no
Okay.
one led us to believe that there was any type
But
of...
you don't have any knowledge to the contrary of that, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. And to the best of your knowledge, were those records and then, in fact, produced to anyone who wanted to see them on the next day?
No, sir.
You don't know?
No.
Okay, all right. Are you also aware that the inspector went out and visited the premises on July 8
No, sir.
last week? Okay. And you don't know what the results of that then, do you?
No, sir.
Okay. I have no further questions.
All right, anything else from your side, Detective? All right, I'd be glad to hear from you, sir.
Mr. Shawless, I'm going to show you a stack of records
Have
broken
your
down.
Witness identify himself
I'm
for the
sorry.
record.
For the record, please.
Frank Solis. 5520 Pennington Avenue, Baldwin, Maryland, 21226.
And Mr. Shawless, other than being a licensee here, you're a member of the Bar of the State of Maryland, are you not?
I am
Practicing for how many years?
42.
42, okay. I don't mean to test it too closely, but that's close enough. Over 40. And I show you a stack of 3 manila files. And are these, in fact, broken down the records for first servers, including bartenders, security personnel, and last dancers that work at the business Kimiko, Trading as Fantasies?
Yes, there are. These are records that are always on the premises. I'm sure there's some old records of people who have long left there, along with everybody that's come in since. Immediately upon a person being hired, their file goes in here, all of the records. At that time, we were redoing part of the premises, bathroom and stuff like that, and it was a little bit in disarray. But all of the stuff is in here. If I don't even know what names he has, but I can guarantee you those names are in here.
And we,
And since that time, they've been down there. Liquor board's been by not just once, but at least 3 times, and asked for the records. They've always been there. And prior to that, they were there any number of times in the last 20 years, and the records were always there.
you'd be happy to reproduce any copies of these records for the board or for the Vice Squad, would you not?
So,
Are you familiar with the inspection that occurred on July 8, 2014 by Inspector Johns?
only by reading it, I was not there.
Okay. And as far as you know, the inspector indicated on here that there was updating of the interior going on, ceiling, drywall, new front entrances, and also indicated by checking off that all of the records necessary with regard to employees and personnel were present on the premises on July 8th. Is that correct?
That's correct.
I have a copy of that at the board. Like I say, it's probably in the board's file. This is the copy the inspector left with us.
Defense Exhibit 1, market.
And as I've indicated, Mr. Chairman, we would be happy to produce the verbatim copies of these employee records that we have retained. These records were actually on premises on that night, is that correct? But the part-time manager could not find them?
They were within an arm's length if they were back in the office.
This is ours. That
Is it your ongoing policy and practice that you retain the records of all employees on the premises? Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Excuse me.
I'm sorry, is it your ongoing policy and practice that employee records are always retained on premises?
Yes, always. There's no reason to take them.
I don't know whether the detective has any questions, and Mr. Shawless, or certainly members of the board.
Any commissioners' questions?
I have one. It was stated that the records could not be found because there was some remodel work being done, sheet rock and some other things. Just for me, could you show me a copy of that work permit you used to do this work so I can just,
There's all kind of permits then.
may I see a copy of it? You have a copy with you?
No, I don't have it with me.
You don't have a copy with you? So if I check the records, I'll find a copy of it in the files.
Yes, sir.
It is our understanding that there is appropriate building permits have been pulled for any of the work that's being done there. We did not bring them with us, but we can certainly produce them to the board within a defined time period.
That would be a good thing to do. When you do rehab work on your place, always put a copy of that permit in the file, along with a letter telling us what you're doing with the property.
We understand, Commissioner Jones.
Anything else?
Very quickly, do you have any evidence to support the claim that you couldn't find the records because work was being done on premises? What evidence do you have today to support that statement, that work was being done on the premises at the time of the request for the documents to be produced?
I'm a
Other than,
member of the bar.
I appreciate that. What evidence do you have to support the claim? Do you have any documents? Do you have any photographs? Do you have, if I could finish my question, and then you can give your answer. Do you have any paper, anything to support that claim?
Well, first, it's hard to prove a negative, but
No, it's easy to prove something that's stated as stated. It's very easy to prove that the work was being done. I just want to know what proof you have. If you don't have any other than your statement, say so. We move on. But if you have it, show it.
here now, I don't have it.
Here now. You have no paper, you have no photographs, you have no permits, you have nothing to support your statement that the work was being done, and that's why you couldn't find the documents.
I didn't think I had to come down here and prove the work was being done when the question was where the records were. The records were on the premises, and they were,
The only
and they always were.
The only reason that I'm asking for it is that you're saying today that the reason that you couldn't produce the employment records is that work was being done.
I-
And that seems to be pretty significant
I
part of
don't
your,
think- I don't
part of
think-
your defense.
I don't think that I said that's why they couldn't be produced.
That your attorney
I
said that,
they
and
were there.
your attorney
I
said that
think
without
it-
any
it was
support?
read into the record by the police.
So that's not
that
true?
Somebody there said. Well, I wasn't there. The manager was there. He couldn't lay his hands on it. I presume that was part of the reason, because everything was in disarray. My presumptions may be presumptuous, I don't know.
Of course they're presumptuous, but whether they're fact-based or not is the question.
Madam Commissioner, I point out that any building permits are a public record, which the board can take judicial notice of. Secondly, there is the observation.
Judicial notice if they're not presented, and y'all don't have them. You don't have them. You don't have them today. You might get them later, but you don't have them now.
Perhaps my interpretation of what an administrative agency taking notice of a public record is different from the board's, and I
I
understand.
think you need to at least produce the record.
There's also your record of your inspector, at least contemporaneously to now. I can't tell you that he made this observation back in February.
In fact, it means it's of no value, frankly, because the violation occurred in November of 2013, and whatever was done in July doesn't help us. July of 2014 is not helpful.
I understand.
That's my question. And I don't think there's any answer.
Anything else? No. All right, I vote the charges are sustained, $500 fine. Commissioners?
I agree.
I agree.
Thank you.
Commissioners, that's $500 plus the $125
Correct.
administrative fee?
Yes.
Any time needed to pay it?
Can we pay within 14 days?
14 days. 14 days to pay. All right, thank you, folks.
Thank you.
Call the next case.
Is the Irish pub, can we go forward?
Do we have the person that we
Oh,
need?
yes, the one was
He's not
from the
here.
previous docket. You ready? All right, call the case of David Estep.
Okay.
Is that the correct one?
Yes, let me go back to it. Hold on one second.
Is the comptroller?
They're not here yet, no. So this is David Estep and Alice O'Fell, and that is 418 South Clinton. This is the trade name is the Irish Pub, 418 South Clinton, this is BD7, violations of Rule 418 and Rule 410. I can read those on the record if you'd like, but
Let me ask you a question. Was the comptroller's witness notified?
yes, the comptroller was notified.
Do you have a motion?
I'd like a motion to dismiss, Your Honor. And
Granted.
also, thank you.
Next case.
What case we going to next?
I'm sorry, give me 2 seconds. It would be Min Young, B&G Liquors.
I have Min Young Jong.
Yep, Min Young Jong.
Okay.
That was postponed. I have to read that into the record, sorry. I'll read, that was already read into the record, yeah. Yes. So we're at Min Young Jong, and that's B&G Liquors. Are you okay? Okay. Min Young Jong, Jong Koo Kim, and John Min Park, and that's B&G Liquors. Trade name B&G Cut Rate. That is 1538 West Baltimore Street. This is a violation of Rule 401 from an incident that stemmed on January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverage was sold to a minor underage police cadet.
All right. Give us your name, please, sir. And you are the licensee? Yes, sir. All right. Officer?
Detective Akiwande for Baltimore City Vice Unit.
All right, swear the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, Officer, directing your attention to the 31st of January, 2014, did you have occasion to go to 1538 West Baltimore Street?
Yes, I did, sir.
And what, if anything, did you find with respect to liquor violations at that time?
On January 31st, 2014, at 8:59 p.m., myself along with members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, utilizing Baltimore City Cadet Gregory McCoy, conducted an underage by investigation at BG Court Rates, located at 1539 West Baltimore Street. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21, enter the affirmative location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for 1 pint of Amsterdam Peach from the store clerk Ming Jung Young. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $8 with previously marked $20 bill. Ms. Jung accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mrs. Jung request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, which included myself, Sergeant Detective Leisha, Detective Greenhill, at which time we entered the location of BG Court Rate Liquors at 1538 West Baltimore Street. Once inside, we advised Mrs. Jung that she had sold to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was then photographed, and the beverage was returned back to the store. Detective Greenhill retrieved the $20 bill, and the establishment was left under the control of Mrs. Jung.
Sir, do you have any questions of the officer?
Nothing, but, yeah.
Commissioners, any questions?
No.
No questions.
All right, sir, do you wish to say anything?
Yeah, let me,
Excuse me, sir, could you stand over here, please?
even though I test the ID,
Now, you swear the witness. Has he been sworn? Has been. All right, state your name for the record, again,
Jongmyung Park, the license of B&G Liquor.
and you are the licensee.
Yes, sir.
And what do you want to tell us?
Yeah. I will take this a good lesson for the future and be very careful in order not to sell anything to the underage of 21. But on that day, my wife, even though she did not ask ID, but she asked his age, but he told her 23rd. So we will take this a good lesson. In the future, we will be very careful, not to send it to underage of 21. Thank you.
All right, anything else? Any other witnesses? Any questions of commissioners of this witness?
None.
No.
All right, I find that you are responsible for the charge, and fine is $500 plus the cost of the, I believe it was 125?
Yes, sir.
How much time do you need to pay it?
30 days.
30 days to pay. All right, thank you, sir. Call the next case. You need time?
You okay? Pyeon Hung Sung, Fulton Liquors, Inc., trade name Fulton Liquors, that is 1801 West Lexington. This is a Class A violation of 401A. This is stemming from an incident from January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
Be glad to enter your appearances, please. Everybody.
Detective,
Raise your right hands. Do you swear?
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Enter your appearances, please. Go ahead.
Detective L.C. Greenhill, Baltimore City Police Department.
You are Mr. Song? Yes. Okay,
And I'm Chi Song. I'm his daughter. I'm here to translate for him.
okay, good. Now, swear the witnesses.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth?
I do.
What was your first name? I didn't catch it.
Wait a minute. Yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, you translate.
이제 이름 말고 이제 swear하는 거 이제 진실이 얘기하는 거.
All right, now I'll be hearing from you, Detective.
Yes, sir. On 31 January of this year at 21:10 hours, which would have been 9:10 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of SES Vice, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at Fulton Liquor Store located 1801 West Lexington Street. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy III with a date of birth for 21 September 1993. Same entered the location and purchased a 40-ounce Coors Light beer from employee Young Hong Sung, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $3.70, using the departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did employee Mr. Song ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of Vice, observed Cadet McCoy enter Fulton Liquor Store located 1801 West Lexington Street with nothing in his hands. And Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment with the purchased alcoholic beverage, which was now in his hands. Moments later, Vice entered the location of 1801 West Lexington Street, known as Fulton Liquor Store, and advised Mr. Young Hong Song that he had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill and returned the change back to Mr. Song. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment at the time of the investigation. At the time of the investigation was concluded, and the establishment was returned back to the operation control of Mr. Song. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
Does he have any questions of the detective?
지금
No questions. All right. Any questions of the commissioners?
Nothing.
All right. Any other evidence? Now, I'll be glad to hear from you, sir.
할 거 있냐고. 기억할까요?
My fault, my mistake.
All right, I find you responsible. My vote is responsibility, $500 fine plus the cost of $125. How much time do you need to pay the fine and cost? 30 days? 30 days. Other commissioners?
I agree.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Next case.
It's you. Okay. Hai Yang and Young Hee Yang, Yan Hua Lee, Twin Liquors, trade name Doc L and P Liquors, and this is at 2101 West Lexington Street. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. This is again a violation of Rule 401A from an incident that happened January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to a minor cadet.
All witnesses in this case, please come forward. All right, swear the witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Enter your appearance, please.
Detective L.C. Greenhill, Baltimore City Police Department.
Enter your appearance, please. Your name. Yes. Is your Y-A-N-G? Good. All right, I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective.
On January 31 of this year, at 21:25 hours, which would have been 9:25 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of SES Vice Enforcement, conducting an underage alcohol investigation at Doc's LMP Liquors located at 2101 West Lexington Street. Utilizing, again, Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy III with a date of birth of 21 September 1983. Same entered the location and purchased a 375 milliliter of Bacardi Gold Rum from employee Young Yang, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $8.29, using a departmental $20 bill, and received change. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did employee Mr. Yang ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of Vice, observed Cadet McCoy enter Doc's LMP Liquors located at 2101 West Lexington Street with nothing in his hands. And Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment with the purchased alcoholic beverage, which was now in his hands. Moments later, members of Vice entered the location of 2101 West Lexington Street at Doc's LMP Liquors and advised Mr. Young that he had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill and returned change back to Mr. Song. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment. During the course of the investigation, Mr. Yang kept trying to question Cadet McCoy concerning his age. Mr. Yang was asked several times by vice detectives as well as Sergeant Leisha to step away from Cadet McCoy. Mr. Yang was clearly upset and agitated over the fact that he was being written up for selling alcohol to a minor and not cooperating with detectives, concerning as to why he couldn't question Cadet McCoy. Furthermore, it should be noted, detectives from Vice Enforcement does not allow questioning of police cadets by employees and/or management of a particular liquor establishment during the course of an underage alcohol investigation after the purchase has been made. At that time, investigation was concluded and the establishment was turned back to the operation controller, Mr. Yang.
Sir, did you want to ask him any questions? Commissioners, questions?
No.
Do you wish to say anything now? It's your turn. Do you want to tell me anything?
Are you Mr. Park? Jung
Jung-myung
Park, okay.
You a translator in this case?
If you allow me, yes, I do.
Yes, swear the translator.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead, sir.
She told me so, nothing particular.
I can't understand you.
Nothing particular to say.
He has nothing particular to say.
Nothing to say.
Yes.
All right. You wish, any commissioners have anything else, or questions or anything?
No question.
All right. The verdict is responsibility for what happens. Your first offense, $500 fine, and costs. How much time does he need to pay it? All right, $500 plus the cost, 30 days to pay. Good luck to you.
And I'll see you down here, sir.
All right, next case.
Sorry. Okay, this is Jum Ray Cho and Chang Un Kim, Fulton Liquors, Inc., trade name Fulton Discount Liquors. And there's a correction on this. It's at 551 North Fulton Avenue. And this is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. Again, this is a violation of Rule 401 from an incident that stemmed on January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to an underage cadet.
Where's our prosecution witness?
This is Mr. Akawande, Detective Akawande is here, yeah. Oh, it's actually both, yeah. Akawande, yes.
Everybody here?
Yeah, he's here. Do you need the report? There you go.
Under the pressure was postponed.
All right, swear all the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do. All right, the witnesses who have been sworn, identify yourselves. Your name, sir?
Detective Akiwande from Baltimore City Police Department.
And your name, sir? John Show.
Yes.
I see. All right, and you are the licensee. Yeah. Be glad to hear from you, Detective.
Yes, sir. On January,
Directing your attention to the 31st of January at a location at 551 North Fulton Avenue on that date. What, if anything, did you see and do?
On January 31st, 2014, at 9:46 p.m., myself, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the Baltimore City Vice Department, utilizing Cadet Gregory McCoy, conducting an underage alcohol by investigation at Fulton Discount Liquors, located at 551 North Fulton Avenue. I observed Cadet McCoy, who is under the age of 21 at the time, entering the aforementioned location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for 1 pint of Bacardi Gold and an alcoholic beverage from the store clerk, David Weiss. Detective McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $8.21, with a departmentally marked $20 bill. Mr. Weiss accepted the $20 bill and returned the change back to Detective McCoy. At no time did Mr. Weiss request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Detective McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, Detective Sergeant Lisha, Detective Greenhill, and myself, Detective Akiwande, entered Fulton Discount Liquors, which was located at 551 North Fulton Avenue, and advised Mr. Weiss that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Mr. Weiss did not have a valid state picture identification on him at the time. However, he did provide his name and date of birth information, which was verified. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Greenhill retrieved the departmental $20 bill from the store register, and the change was returned back to Mr. Weiss. The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment. The store was left in the control of Mr. Weiss. All events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
Sir, do you have any questions of the police officer? What is your question? No, not talk, to ask. Okay, commissioners, questions?
No questions.
All right, now, sir, I'll be glad to hear from you. Tell us what you want. Come over to the microphone. Tell us who you are again. You're Sean Wo Show.
My store employed mistake. My mistake, yeah. No, next time, no more.
All right. Commissioners, any questions?
No.
All right, I find the responsibility rests with the licensee. Therefore, the fine is first offense, $500 plus costs. How much time do you need to pay it? 30 days to pay. Any questions? You may go.
I can see you down here, sir.
What's his first name?
First name is J-U-M.
I thought he said Hung. What's your first name?
June?
I am Pyong Cho. My wife my wife.
Oh, okay. June is his wife, who is listed on the license. Okay.
You okay? Are you okay? All right, call the next case.
June Rong Kim, MGC Market, Inc., trade name Fox Liquors. That is 1301-03 North Fulton Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 401A from an incident from January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to an underage cadet.
Swear all the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
We're missing the second page.
State your names.
Detective Akiwande from the Baltimore City Police Department.
State your names.
Jongnan Kim.
And you are the licensee.
Yes.
All right, and you are
Kyo
what?
Kim. I'm translating for my mother.
Translating. Okay, and your name, please? Sure.
Hyokim.
All right. Officer Akawandi, I'll be glad to hear from you.
Sir. On January 31st, 2014, at 9:58 p.m., myself, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing a Baltimore police cadet, Gregory McCoy, conducting an underage alcohol buy investigation at Fox Liquors, which is located at 1301 to 3 North Fulton Avenue. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21 at the time, enter the aforementioned location. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for a pint of New Amsterdam Peach, an alcoholic beverage, from the store clerk, Jung Hyun Kim. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $6.27 with a previously marked $20 bill. Mr. Kim accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mr. Kim request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the Vice Squad, including myself, of their alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, including Sergeant Detective Lisha, Detective Greenhill, and myself, entered Fox Liquors and advised Mr. Kim that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was photographed with a purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Greenhill retrieved the $20 bill, the previously marked $20 bill, from the store register, and the change was returned back to Mr. Kim. The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment. The store was left in control of Mr. Kim, and all events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
Now, ma'am, do you need time to translate to your mother?
If she needs my help, she'll let me know.
Okay, so you're satisfied? All right, any questions of the detective? You? None. All right, commissioners, any questions?
None.
No.
All right, now, it's your opportunity to say whatever you wish to say.
Admit it. I admit it. Yeah, she's admitting to the violation.
All right. I find her responsible for the violation. The fine is $500 plus costs. And how much time does she need to pay it?
Is it possible to pay today?
Yes.
Okay, we're prepared to pay for it.
All right. You may then go over and make arrangements. Good luck.
Thank you. Yep.
All right. Okay. All right. Call the next case.
That's Chang H. Cho, Hang So Cho, Gold Medal Inc. This is trade name Carlton Liquors, 1900 West North Avenue. This is a Class A2 beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 401A. This again stems from an incident on January 31st, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
All right. Swear all witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And state your name for the record.
Detective L.C. Greenhill, Baltimore City Police Department.
Your name, sir?
Yeah, my name is Chang Xie Chen, last name Xie Cho Cho.
All right, and you're the licensee. All right, I'd be glad to hear from you, detective.
On 31 January of 2014 at 22:05 hours, which would have been 10:05 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of SES Vice Enforcement, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at Carlton Liquors, located at 1900 West North Avenue. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy with a date of birth of 21 September 1993, same entered the location and purchased a 375 milliliter of Smirnoff vodka from employee Hung S. Cho, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $7.05 using the departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did employee Mr. Cho ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of SES Vice, observed Cadet McCoy enter Carlton Liquors located at 1900 West North Avenue with nothing in his hands, and Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment with the purchase alcohol or beverage, which was now in his hands. Moments later, members of SES Vice entered the location of 1900 West North Avenue, known as Carlton Liquors, and advised Mr. Hung S. Cho that he had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill and returned change back to Mr. Cho. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchase alcohol or beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment. At that time, the investigation was concluded and the establishment was returned back to the operational control of Mr. Cho. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
Mr. Cho, do you have any questions of the detective? Commissioners?
None.
All right, it's your turn, sir, to speak if you wish to say anything.
It's in between.
All right, I find you responsible for the offense, fine of $500 plus costs. This is your first offense. How much time do you need to pay the
30 days.
30 days to pay? All right. You may go. Oh, excuse me, wait a minute. Come back a minute. I knew I forgot something. Commissioners, what is your vote?
I agree with you.
I agree.
I know, you know, it's funny. I had this feeling that I forgot something, but I couldn't remember what it was. That's why I hesitated. Now you may go, sir. Thank you.
All good.
Couldn't figure it out. Call the next case.
Steve O., which is at 2700 North Liquors, Inc., trade name Sun and Moon Liquors, and this is again at 2700 West North Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 401A, which stems from an incident from January 31st, 2014, alcoholic beverages being sold to an underage minor cadet, and also a violation of Rule 302. This is then the cooperation rule. Licensee shall cooperate with representatives of the board, members of the police department, health department, building engineer's office, grand jury, and representative of other governmental agencies whenever such a person is on official business. This again is from January 31st, 2014. Entry to the establishment was refused to officers when they identified themselves several times.
All right, swear all the witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Identify yourself for the record.
Detective L.C. Green, Hill City Police.
Your name, sir?
My name's Steve Hall.
Okay, and you are the licensee?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay. Detective Greenhill, I'll be glad to hear from you.
Yes, sir. On January 31st of this year at 22:20 hours, which would have been 10:20 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of SES Vice, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at Sun M Liquors located at 2700 West North Avenue. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy with a date of birth of 21 September 1993. Same entered the location and purchased a 200 milliliter Southern Comfort from employee Oak Pay Bay, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $6 using a departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did Ms. Bay ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. It was later revealed during the initial investigation, Ms. Bay asked Cadet McCoy how old he was. Cadet McCoy replied, stating to Ms. Bay he was 24 years of age. Yet again, Ms. Bay did not ask Cadet McCoy for any identification to verify proof of age. Furthermore, your right along with members of SES Vice observed Cadet McCoy enter Sun M Liquors located at 2700 West North Avenue with nothing in his hands. And Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment to purchase alcohol or beverage, which was now in his hands. Moments later, members of Vice entered the location of 2700 West North Avenue known as Sun M Liquors and advised Miss Oak Pay Bay that she had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. As your writer, along with detectives from Vice, attempted to enter the rear of the establishment leading to the register, Ms. Bay and possibly the licensee, Mr. Steve O, refused to open the door for several minutes after we announced ourselves several times as police. At that time, your writer announced to other patrons that were inside the establishment the store would be closed temporarily until our investigation was complete. Once detectives were able to gain entry into the rear of the establishment, your writer was able to recover the departmental $20 bill and return the change back to Ms. Bay. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchase alcoholic beverage. During the course of the investigation, Ms. Bay and the licensee, Steve O, were argumentative and enraged towards your writer and detectives' advice concerning the underage sale. Ms. Bay and Mr. O were reluctant to answer any questions by detectives as well as Sergeant Leisha during their investigation. At one point, as Sergeant Leisha attempted to return the purchased alcoholic beverage back to licensee Mr. O forcibly snatched the alcoholic beverage from Sergeant Leisha's hands and threw it to the other side of his store. Ms. Bay and the licensee, Mr. O, were extremely hostile and uncooperative towards detectives during the course of the investigation. At that time, the investigation was concluded and the establishment was turned back to the operation control of licensee Mr. O. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
Mr. Ho, do you have any questions of the detective?
No, sir.
All right, commissioners, questions.
I have one. At any time during that conversation, did you show anything to indicate that you were a police officer that was clearly seen?
At the time, any type of initial investigation, I have my rape vest, which clearly has police. I have my badge out like it is with ID also.
Any other questions? All right, hearing none. Now, I find that the responsibility in both charges, oh, excuse me.
Yes.
Sir, we're glad to hear from you.
Yes. At that time, my mother passed away, so I've been Korea 1 month, so I'm not here. But my sister-in-law, she helped my business. But I think she nervous something, first time, so nervous, so that kind of happening. But my mistake, I agree.
Well, let me ask you a question. Were you there when this happened?
My mother passed away, I funeral my country.
You were at home in Korea?
Yeah. mhm,
Yes, so you were not there.
Yeah, my brother take care of my business.
Who threw
During
the bottle?
My sister-in-law. Yeah, she very tried. I tell her, but she mistake.
All right, anything else you wish to say?
She wanna try no more this kind of happening now. Okay.
All right, questions of commissioners?
Are you Mr. O?
Yes.
And you're saying you were not present the
Yeah,
night of this incident?
Yeah, I'm pleased.
You were there.
But that time I'm not there.
On the night of this incident, February 3, 2014, were you at the store?
My brother there.
And what is your brother's name?
His name Shin Ho.
So he has the same last name as you?
Yeah, last name
Okay, okay. All right. All righty. Thank you.
All right, anything else, sir?
Yeah, that's I know.
All right. I find the responsibility in both charges with respect to the first charge of a minor sale, $500 fine plus costs. With respect to the second charge of failure of cooperation, $1,000 fine plus costs. How much time do you need to pay the two fines?
2 months, please.
60 days to pay?
Yes.
I agree with you.
Commissioners?
I agree.
All right, sir, you may make arrangements.
Thank you.
60 days.
60 days to pay. All right, call the next case.
Jennifer Yoon and Barry Moore, JJYC Inc. Trade name is Uptown Liquors, 2115 West North Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. Again, a violation of 4.01A. This is, again, from a January 31st, 2014 alcoholic beverage sale to minor, to a underage police cadet.
All right, come forth, swear the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
State your name for the record,
Detective L.C. Green Hill City Police.
and state your name, please. And you are the licensee.
Yes.
All right, Detective, I'd be glad to hear from you.
On On January 31st of this year at 23:05 hours, which would have been 11:05 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of SES Vice, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at Uptown Liquors located at 2115 West North Avenue. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Greg L. McCoy with a date of birth for 21 September 93, same entered the location and purchased a 375 milliliter of Paul Masson brandy from employee Young Hung Wayne, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $7.15 using the departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did Mr. Wayne ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of Vice, observed Cadet McCoy enter Uptown Liquors located at 2115 West North Avenue with nothing in his hands. And Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment with the purchased alcohol, which was now in his hands. Moments later, members of Vice entered the location of 2115 West North Avenue, known as Uptown Liquors, and advised Mr. Wayne he had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill and returned change back to Mr. Wayne. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment. At that time, the investigation was concluded, and the establishment was back in the control of Mr. Wayne. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
Do you have any questions of the detective?
Okay, sure.
Any commissioners' questions?
No.
Ma'am, at this time, you have the right to tell us what you wish.
It's my mistake, so it will not happen again.
All right. My decision is, since it's your first offense, of a $500 fine plus costs. How much time do you need to pay it?
If possible, I pay right now.
You can pay today. All right, that's fine. Commissioners, your votes?
I agree with your findings.
I agree.
All right, you may go. Thank you. Over here. Let me ask you a question, Detective. It's got nothing to do with this case or other, but when you're going around through these West Baltimore neighborhoods, you don't have anybody calling around to the bar saying that the cops are in the neighborhood, going from bar to bar to bar to bar? Never happened?
No, sir. We try to, if anything, split it up, but in some of these neighborhoods, some bars are right either across the street or right next door to each other.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, call the next case.
It's Kung Young Lee, Chang Bom Park, Jin Young Yang Park, and this is Green Bottle Liquors. Trade name Oxford Tavern. This is at 1741 West North Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. A violation of 401A. This again stemming from a January 31st, 2014 alcoholic beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your names for the record at this time.
Detective Akiwani from Baltimore City Police Department.
And your name, sir?
Shane Park.
And Mr. Park, is that correct?
Yes.
And you are the licensee?
Yes.
All right. Detective Akawande, I'd be glad to hear from you.
On January 31st, 2014, at 11:35 p.m., I, Detective Akiwande, along with members of SES Vice units, utilizing police cadet Gregory McCoy, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at Oxford Tavern, located at 1741 West North Avenue. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21, entering the location by the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for 1 pint, which is 375 milliliters of Jack Daniels, an alcoholic beverage, from the clerk, Sun Jin Cho. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $13.04 with a previously marked $20 bill. Mr. Choi accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mr. Choi request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, Sergeant Detective Leisha, Detective Greenhill, and I, Detective Akinwande, entered the Oxford Tavern located at 1741 West North Avenue and advised Mr. Choi that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy III. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Greenhill retrieved the $20 bill from the store register, and change was returned back to Mr. Choi. The purchased alcohol was then returned back to the establishment, and the store was left under the control of Mr. Choi. All events occurred in Baltimore City, the state of Maryland.
Do you want to ask him any questions? Commissioners, questions?
None.
No?
Now it's your chance to speak. Do you wish to say anything? All right, I find that you're responsible for the, since it's your first offense, a $500 fine plus cost. How much time do you need to pay it? All right, pay right now. And your commissioners, your votes?
I agree.
I agree.
All right. All right, call the next case.
Kwan Young Lee, Jong Sung Lee, Robinson's Food Market, trade name Robinson's Food and Variety. This is at 3601 Park Heights Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 401A. This is stemming from an incident on February 7th, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear the witnesses. Are you a witness? Wait a minute. Be glad to come over, ma'am, and swear all witnesses.
1 second. Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your names for the record, starting from over here, please.
Julius Cologne, President and CEO of Park Heights Renaissance.
Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton, representative on the council for the 6th District.
Detective Akinwande from Baltimore City Police Department.
And sir, your name is?
My name is Kwan Young Lee. I'm a licensee.
You're the licensee?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective.
On February 7th, 2014, at 9:09 p.m., myself, Detective Akinwande, along with members of the SES Vice Units, utilizing a Baltimore City Police Cadet, Gregory McCoy, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at Robinson's Food and Variety Market, which is located at 3601 Park Heights Avenue. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21, enter the aforementioned location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for a 375 milliliter of Jack Daniels, an alcoholic beverage from the store owner, Kwan Young Lee. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $14.70, which was a previously marked $20 bill. Mr. Lee accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mr. Lee request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Units, Sergeant Detective Leisha, Detective Greenhill, and myself entered Robinson's Food and Market Variety, located at 3601 Park Heights Avenue, and advised Mr. Lee that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was then photographed with a purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Greenhill retrieved the department's $20 bill from the store register, and the change was returned back to Mr. Lee. The purchased alcohol was returned back to the establishment. The store was left under the control of Mr. Lee, and all events occurred in Baltimore City and state of Maryland.
Sir, do you want to ask the detective any questions? No. Commissioners, questions?
No question.
Commissioner?
No questions.
No.
No, sorry.
All right, now, Councilwoman, I'll be glad to hear from you.
Yes, both of us are here.
Give us your name again, just.
Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton of the 6th District and the Park Heights Southern Park Heights community is my district. I have represented that district for going on 8 years now. It is also the area that is the major redevelopment area for within Park Heights. It is also the area that has the largest amount of liquor stores in the community in the entire state of Maryland. It also is the only area in the city where a state law was passed where the stores cannot open at 9 p.m. Cannot open until 9 a.m. They used to all open at 6 a.m. So because of the problems and the revitalization, we succeeded in getting that done. We're continually going through major revitalization. We opened our first only senior 60-unit housing facility, the first new housing facility in over or close to 40 years. There is lots of things going, and we all know that true revitalization will not take place until we get rid of some of these liquor stores. So these problems that come up that I've been sitting here hearing today are just constant things that go on within that community. I definitely brought the CEO of the Park Heights Renaissance with me. We, every month, that neighborhood has a residents community council with all of the presidents of the association. We're here I'm representing the constituents, he's representing those association presidents. We mean business, and I have a formal letter here I know what really brought my attention. When I got the notice of the, this issue, 4 of those stores are right down the line on Park Heights Avenue in my district, and the one on Reisterstown Road. And this is a continual thing of, it's been proven, we have statistics with, the drugs, the violence, all around these liquor stores. None of them do anything in that entire community. And I make that statement from my 8 years of representation. They do nothing to help the community. There's been constant reach out year after year. I'm kind of giving my testimony for all of those things here, and
We only have one of them today, is that correct?
No, I think all of them.
All of them today?
All of them are today.
Okay.
The next sets.
And
I
that
have
was
to- I have to
my
tell you-
urgency in being here to really testify and just give an update of, the major of the Northwest Police Department usually comes with me as well, but he's out of town today. And, we work together. It's, this is a thing that we are really strong about. And, I like Mr. Cologne, if
We'll
he
get to
can
him.
interject as well.
I have to tell you, Councilwoman, that even though you've listed them all in one letter and mention it now, you realize that because of the law, we've got to have you do it. Repeat if your testimony, you desire to repeat it, we have to have you say what you want to say again for each case.
No problem.
You understand that?
Very passionate about this.
Okay. All right, now, any questions of the Councilwoman? Commissioners, questions? None? I couldn't hear you.
Is it your sense that we're only here for selling to minors?
Which is one of the biggest problems.
Okay. And that's, I think for each one of them that comes up, that's the only issue.
There's other things too,
Okay.
that will probably,
Come back and testify.
Yes.
If there are other issues.
yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I have sort of the same question. You realize that this is a first offense on this bar.
I saw that.
And you also realize that you and your organizations or community, people who live in your community, can call the liquor board. And I've so stated to my executive secretary, who is seated on my right, that if we receive these complaints, we're going to send out inspectors to these bars or organizations that have licenses and see whether the complaint is confirmed or not confirmed. We're not going to sit back and wait for an offense to occur for us to hear it in this room. And I know what you're going through, Councilwoman. I used to be a city councilman myself, and I know your phone rings all the time, I'm sure.
Yes, it does.
And you answer it.
I sure do.
All right, no other questions. We'll hear from the next witness.
Julius Colon, President and CEO of Park Heights Renaissance.
How do you spell your last name, Mr. Colon?
C-O-L-O-N.
Mm-hmm. And Park Heights Community?
Park Heights, community. Park Heights Renaissance is the name of the organization.
Okay.
We're responsible for overseeing the revitalization of the Park Heights master plan area, which is where all of these liquor stores are located. And just to state that, just because it was caught this one time, we know of more activity, and I think that what you said with respect to calling your office, we will be doing that on a regular basis, because just because it was caught by the police department doesn't mean that that sales have not been happening in the past to minors as well. But that I cannot verify. But moving forward, we will move more diligently with finding out when our young people are buying alcohol in these establishments. But again,
But you understand that today, and it's not a court of law, but we're a community board.
Right, exactly.
In which people can say what they wish, but nevertheless, we're still bound by whatever we hear that this particular establishment is responsible for. And right now, the only charge that we have in front of us is a first offense for selling to a minor. And I've already told Council Middleton, you're welcome to call the board at any time. I've already given this information to my executive secretary. She knows to keep these calls confidential,
Okay.
and for only herself to keep a record of who calls in, I've told her, and then she will import the request to the inspectors, and so the inspector will not know who called in, who requested whatever the reason we're sending out an inspector to a place. And I'm not holding this against you. You understand that. Yes, we're going off the subject into a different realm. And you understand that?
Yes, I do, and thank you very much for that clarification. But yes, it's important that as the last board that was here, we used to come and testify as well. And you will be seeing more and more of us when it comes to Park Heights.
I'm always glad to see everybody.
Thank you.
Any questions of commissioners?
No.
Questions? None.
No. I have to tell you, I don't hear too well.
I just realized it, and I don't know, this is
I have
sort
to
of
also
a-
tell you, my hearing aid on the right is broken.
Oh, dear.
So you're on my bad side.
Okay, I'm gonna yell.
And I'll move back, that way, that you can
I'll use my church voice.
Well, what do you get when you get me? That's what you get. All right, you any questions?
One thing I want to say is,
First of all, questions.
yes,
Ask her or him a question. Do you have any?
no.
And I'm going to let you testify, but do you have any?
question, no question.
No question.
No question.
All right, now it's your turn, sir.
Yes, I want to testify myself as I just like Mr. Middleton said that business open hour is 9 o'clock. I do open 9 o'clock, and then I also close 10:30 at night. Not even open until like midnight. Also, I'm like nearest liquor store from my store is like 10 blocks away. So problem they're talking about is Park Heights and Belvedere area. So I'm further down.
How many blocks are you from Park Heights and Belvedere?
Park Heights, about something like that. So 13, 15 blocks, yes.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, sir. Anything else?
That's all.
All right, commissioners, any questions?
No questions.
All right, I'm ready for a final decision. In this particular case, while it's tempting to throw upon this defendant all the problems of the neighborhood, there is no such evidence before me at this time, and therefore I vote the responsibility with respect to Rule 401 and the fine of $500 plus costs. How much time do you need to pay the fine, sir?
7 days, please.
How much?
7 days.
7 days.
Yes, sir.
All right, commissioners, your votes?
I agree.
All right, you may go.
Sir.
and move this as Exhibit 1.
Yes, I will, and I'll make sure it's copied in each one of them. Okay,
Call the next case.
sure. Busup Yan, Jong Hu Yan, Sun Ja Jim, Yoon Inc. at, thank you, at Park Lane Cut Rate Liquors. That is 1416 Park Heights Avenue, a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. This is violation of Rule 401A. Again, this is stemming from February 7th, 2014, alcoholic beverages sold to an underage cadet.
All right, swear the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm? Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. State your names for the record.
Detective Akiwande from Baltimore City Police Department.
Julius Cologne, Park Heights Renaissance.
Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton of the 6th District.
Yeah, my name is Busup Yoon.
And you are the licensee.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Be glad to hear from you, Detective.
On February 7th, 2014, at 9:26 p.m., myself, Detective Akinwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing a Baltimore City cadet, Gregory McCoy III, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at Park Lane Court Rate Liquors, located at 4416 Park Heights Avenue. I observed Cadet McCoy, who is under the age of 21, enter the aforementioned location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for a 24 fluid ounce of Budweiser, an alcoholic beverage, from the store clerk, Henry Rue Young. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $2.50 with a previously marked $20 bill. Mr. Young accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mr. Young request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Units, which includes Sergeant Detective Leisha, Detective Greenhill, and I, Detective Akiwande, entered Park Lane Court Rate Liquors, located at 4416 Park Heights Avenue, and advised Mr. Yoon that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was photographed with a purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Greenhill retrieved the departmental $20 bill from the store register, and the change was returned back to Mr. Young. The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment, and the store was left under control of Mr. Young. All events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
You have any questions of the detective? Council, commissioners?
No questions.
I'll be glad to hear from you.
Julius Cologne, I'd like to reiterate what I stated for the prior case. That is our position at Park Heights Renaissance, that all violations, they receive the proper penalty, but maybe we should start increasing the penalty for violations in a community that is being under revitalization.
You may be right. Do you want to ask him any questions?
No.
All right. Councilwoman?
Councilwoman Sharon Green Middleton of the 6th District. And again, I reiterate the information that I gave just before this case. And just to add, this Park Lane Shopping Center area, there was 3 shootings a couple days ago right there in that shopping center. So it's just a sample of what I stated earlier.
You want, just a minute, Councilwoman. Do you have any questions? All right, commissioners, any questions?
None.
No questions.
All right, now it's your turn, sir, to say what you wish to say. Do you wish to say anything?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, no.
You don't
nothing
want to
else.
say?
Anyhow, it's,
All right.
Henry is my son. He fault. My fault and his fault. Okay. No questioning.
All right, and you understand what's happened? Okay. All right, the sentence is that I find that you are responsible for the charge, and the $500 fine plus cost. How much time do you need? This is your first offense. How much time do you need to pay it?
It's good.
All right, 30 days you have. Commissioners, your votes?
Same.
I agree, but I also think we do need to consider going forward whether the fines that are being imposed are an actual deterrent, because to me, it doesn't seem that they are. And we should look at what we can do to increase the fines going forward.
Yes, I think that what you're saying is a warning to everybody that in the future, this policy may be reexamined. All right, call the next year. Sir, you have that time. You may make your arrangements.
Yes, sir.
Se Young O, Su Mei O, Mi John Nam, and that's SSMO Inc., the Knights Liquor. And this is 5139 Park Heights Avenue, a Class A beer, wine, liquor, violation of Rule 401A. This is from February 7th, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear all witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
All right, examine, and give us your names for the record, please. First,
Okay, my name is Se Young Oh, and I'm on 5139 Park Heights Avenue, SSMO Inc., and trade name is Knights Liquors.
Now, who is the licensee here? You?
I'm the one.
And give us your name again?
Okay, Se Young Oh.
You say Young Ho.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh.
O-H.
Yes.
Right. And your name, sir?
Detective L.C. Green Hill City Police.
Julius Cologne, Park Heights Renaissance.
Councilwoman Sharon Green, Middleton 6th.
All right, Detective, I'll hear from you.
On 7th February of this year at 21:55 hours, which would have been 9:55 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of VICE, conducted underage alcohol investigation at Knights Liquor located at 5139 through 41 Park Heights Avenue. Again, utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy III with a date of birth of 21 September of 1993, same entered the location and purchased a 12-ounce steel reserve bill from employee Se Young O, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $1 using a departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchase alcohol in hand. At no time did then employee Mr. O ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your right along with members of VICE observed Cadet McCoy enter Knights Liquors with nothing in his hands, and Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment with the alcohol beverage, which is now in his hands. Moments later, members of VICE entered the location of 5139 through 41 Park Heights, known as Knights Liquors, and advised Mr. Young Old that he had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 and returned the change back to Mr. O. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment. At that time, the investigation was concluded and the establishment was returned back to the control of Mr. O. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
Do you want to ask him any questions?
Actually, I've been focused on each sales, and I believe I have about three times chance to check the ID, but that typical day, there's unnecessary conversation had to made it, and they usually purchase a, order for sizes, but he would, ask, give me the price wise, and it was unusual, so I just made the conversation with him what kind of what, and then later on, it was a big mistake, but just I focused my concentration to, check the ID, and on first time glance, it looks like pretty old, that's why, but I have to recheck, whether the procedure is right or not, so it's, I believe this one is my big mistakes.
Commissioners, any questions of the detective?
None.
I'll be glad to hear from you, Ms. Cologne.
Again, Julius Cologne, Park Heights Renaissance. Just 2 weeks ago on this block, so you understand our reason for being here today, there was a fatal stabbing on this block. There is 3 liquor stores on this, in this same, within a 50-foot radius of each other. It is a problem area that we have in Park Heights, and just want to recognize that it's an ongoing problem. and the liquor stores are in this particular location, it is a hangout for drug activity that exists. I cannot prove that, of course, I don't have any evidence, but moving forward, we will begin to start accumulating that evidence.
Mr. Colon, let me say that I believe the law is clear that licensees, which is a privilege, are responsible for the conduct of their customers inside the bars. And so I've told you before what I believe that some of the avenues of complaint are open to you. Use them. Any questions to the commissioners of this witness?
No.
Questions?
All right.
Councilwoman Sharon Middleton of the 6th District, and I reiterate what I had mentioned previously, and also add this is one of the most problem blocks, that famous 5100 block right there at Park Heights and West Belvedere. And,
Has
people-
been for a lot of
police-
years.
Yes, and they spend a lot of time right within that block. We just recently had to put some caution poles with the transportation department because of the crazy activity. So, because people are also getting hit from being intoxicated or on drugs. So, I understand what you have been telling us, and we're going to sit down and reevaluate how we're going to professionally give you added information so we can not just clean up that block, but again, I'm working on all of Southern Park Heights.
You know, it's really unbelievable that this area, which has been true for many years, is next to a world-class racetrack.
Yes.
And
Yes.
this goes on, and we have so many cases of the same today. I just want to redress for a minute. When I was a circuit court judge, I had a case where there was 3 phones. You know, the free phones they use, not free phones, but phone booths on Park Heights, right below this intersection.
Right.
And a man came down the street, and both phones were occupied. There were 2 phones occupied. He said, "How long are you going to take on your phone call?" And they said 30 minutes. So he sat down on the curb. At the end of 30 minutes, he said, "Time's up." He stood up and shot and killed both of them.
Goodness.
So I understand where you're coming from. In no way does this apply to you, sir. It's just a story of somebody like me who loves to tell stories. And
But I like to express on merchandise. Okay.
I'm sure it's tough.
Yeah. All right.
Now, just a minute.
Oh,
Any
yeah.
questions of the councilwoman?
No.
No questions.
All right, and now I'll hear from you, sir.
Okay, I'm in that store about it's 11 years, and I'm in the United States over 32 years. And what I did is, I believe I've been trying to be honest, and I'm working just hard. And about 4 or 5 years, I found out I cannot balance, to make a living. I'm working open to close, no day off, all year long. Okay, it's like a miserable. I'm an IRS tax lien, and the reason I'm working hard is not to be rich, not to make money, but try to be clear. Whatever I owe, it might be not impossible, but step by step, and then I'm just working hard for that all the hours not to be rich, all right. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I found it's not good enough to make a balance, balance the budget. So I'm trying to sell the business, but in Park Heights area, there's a lot of room, a lot of restriction. All the merchant very suffering with not able to chance to sell the business. Okay, right now, the store is not only me, mostly people, the store is the only their way to make a living. That's all their asset, okay? And even I believe that if the city just, have developed, finish up, and they could, have to choose to get out, then they want to find something else. But right now, there's nothing been done. Always more restriction coming out, more rumor coming out. I feel like it's stuck in. Typically for me, it's stuck in the bad location. I really want to get out of this location, but the market is frozen, and the business is getting more competition, more restriction. So I gotta, I'll just request maybe city does something for consider the merchant size also. And another thing is, if this the 5100 block is more like a shopping center. And if it's a shopping center, the landlord would restrict certain, too much competition, will not allow to lease. But the last couple of years, less than a year, about a 6 same kind of store coming up there. So all the people have more chance to lose the business, more getting harder time. So I just not only just a restriction for the, actually there's I know that the last 10 years there's people hang around, but mostly people hang around, it's a bunch of about no more than 15. Okay, police seen on there, all the same people, mostly like, I believe some of them might be drug dealers, but mostly they are homeless people or are begging all day long. So even there's even not much thing about the candy merchant side. It's police seen there, it'll be clean out. So there's just something be both the community and both for, consider have to be merchant also. And that's it.
Fine. Any quick questions, Commissioners?
No.
All right, I find the responsibility and first offense, $500 fine plus cost. Vote, Commissioners?
I agree.
I agree.
And how much, how much time do you need?
60 days, sir.
60 days. And you may go, make your arrangements. All right,
Thank you.
call the next case.
Kwan Young, Young's Place, Inc., M&M Discount Liquor. This is at 5142 Park Heights Avenue. This is a Class A beer, wine, and liquor license, a violation of Rule 4.01, stemming from an incident February 7th, 2014. Alcoholic beverages sold to a minor, sold to an underage police cadet. Do you not have this one? Let me look at it. Yes, it is you. Do you want it? There you go.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Priebus on behalf of the licensee Kwang Young, who is standing to my right.
Just 1 minute. Swear all the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, and Mr. Previous, let me ask you a question. Before I ask everybody to identify themselves, are you willing to admit the police report into evidence as if he?
No, Your Honor.
You're not?
And,
Okay.
being as the cadet is not here, I strongly object to admitting
Okay.
it.
All right, gives your identification, please, the ones that have been sworn.
Detective Akiwande from the Baltimore City Police Department.
Julius Colon, Park Heights Renaissance.
And Councilman. And
State your name.
okay, I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective.
On February,
I just didn't get the first name. I thought it was Quan.
H-W-A-N.
Okay.
I have KWAN.
I'm sorry.
I think it's just spelled wrong.
H on one place and K on the other.
Well, what is this? Why don't you ask the person?
I've always
that
known
him?
Mr. Henry as Juan. H-W-A-N? Yes.
HWAN. That'd be the best source. Okay. All right, and last name is Y-O-N-G.
Correct, Your Honor.
All right. Detective, I'd be glad to hear from you.
on February 7th, 2014, at 11:12 p.m., myself, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing Police Cadet Gregory McCoy, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at M&M Discount Liquors, which is located at 5142 Park Heights Avenue. Observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of...
Objection.
Overruled. Go ahead.
Entering the aforementioned location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for...
Objection.
Overruled. Do you have a continuing objection?
Continuing objection, Your Honor.
Yes,
To
go ahead.
anything that officer,
This is a community board. Your objections are noted, overruled, and you have a continuing objection.
thank you, sir.
asked for a 375 milliliter of Bacardi Gold, an alcoholic beverage from the store collect Sun Kung Kang. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $7.67, with a previously marked $20 bill. Mr. Kang accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mr. Kang request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, Sergeant Detective Lisha, Detective Greenhill, and myself, Detective Akiwande, entered M&M's Discount Liquors located at 5142 Park Heights Avenue and advised Mr. Kang that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective L.C. Greenhill retrieved the $20 bill from the store register, and the change was returned back to Mr. Kang. The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment. The store was left under the control of Mr. Kang. All events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
Any questions, Commissioners?
No.
No questions.
And your questions, if any?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Detective Akamande, you sent the cadet in and you remained outside. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and you didn't observe the cadet purchasing anything within the store?
I didn't observe him making the actual purchase, but he entered the store with the money.
You observed him entering the store.
With the
Was there a $20 bill?
With a $20
Was it marked?
Yes, it was.
Were there serial numbers on it?
Yes, it was.
Do you have a photocopy of that $20 bill here today?
I do not have it right now.
Okay. So you saw the cadet enter the store,
This is
and
correct.
at that point you lost sight of him.
That is correct.
At some point, there was some signal or a cell phone call from the cadet to the detectives to enter the store, is that correct?
No, that is not correct.
Okay. Did you just wait a while and then enter the store?
No, that is not correct.
Okay. So,
So
at
what
what point
happened?
did you enter the store?
So that's what question. The cadet, what usually happens is the cadet goes into the store, makes the purchase.
What happened in this case?
Okay, in this case, the cadet went to the store, made the purchase, came out of the store, and basically we were parked less than in the same block, so I was able to visually see the cadet when he came out of the store.
You saw a cadet.
So he had the alcohol in his hand, which indicated that he had bought the Bacardi Gold. And at that point, we went to the store with the cadet, showed the evidence to the store clerk, and took pictures of the cadet with the alcohol.
Okay, so the cadet came out of the store. And you saw him come out of the store, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and he had something in his hand?
He had the Bacardi Gold in his
Was
hand.
it in a bag?
It was in the bag.
Okay, and then you went, you and who else was with you? Detective Greenhill?
Detective Greenhill and Sergeant Detective Lisha.
Okay, and the three of you joined the cadet and went back into the store?
That is correct.
Okay, and you had personal observations from thereafter, correct?
That is correct.
Okay. Mr. Young was not present at the time, is that correct? It was just the clerk? Do you recall?
Mr. Young, I do not believe was present at the time, no.
I'm sorry.
He was not present.
He was
at
not
the time.
present. Okay. Do you recall this incident? There's a
Yes,
whole
I
lot
do.
of cases here today.
Yes, I do.
You remember this specifically?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay. Okay, where is the cadet today?
The cadet just got admitted into the Baltimore City Police Department academy. He is going through an orientation today, so he wasn't able to get enough clearance time to be here today.
Was he subpoenaed?
Yes, he was as part of, we asked for all of the parties, yes, sir.
Your Honor, in light of that, I move to strike all the hearsay of the cadet, including his age, in that, in administrative hearings, while hearsay is generally admissible if it is relevant and probative, it is not admissible if there is an actual subpoena for the witness ignores the subpoena, and there is no opportunity to cross-examine the witness.
Well, that's a very interesting law that you've just quoted, Mr. Previs, but I've never heard it before. Overruled.
Okay, I have no further questions.
All right. Any questions by the commissioners of the detective? All right, Mr. Kalan?
Yes, Julius Cologne. This is again, I want to
May I
reiterate.
enter my objection for the record, Your Honor? With all due respect to Mr. Cologne and the councilwoman, this is a violation hearing. It's not a renewal protest. It's not a transfer hearing. This board has two hats that it wears. One is a
Well,
licensing
let me
function.
save you some trouble, that, I agree with you on the, any testimony that doesn't apply to your case, which I don't think any of their testimony does. So I, and I'd assure my fellow commissioners, we're listening as a courtesy to the community representatives who are coming in and telling us the problems that exist in the area-wide period. But we're not applying these problems to your client at this time.
Okay.
On these charges.
May I just, without being
Sure.
disrespectful to Your Honor, just to clarify my personal view on this is.
Lawyers are never disrespectful, they're just advocates for their clients. That's your job.
In another forum, it is extremely appropriate for members of the community to voice their concerns with regard to the operations of liquor license establishments. In a violation hearing, it is I'd say a two-party matter, not a three-party matter, and anything said in that context could prejudice the decision of the board. So I've been sitting here all day, and I see that this board doesn't appear that they have been prejudiced, but it's not, I object because it's not appropriate, and it takes away from the propriety of the board's function. So with
Well,
that said.
with respect to your motion, as a determiner of the law, I instruct my fellow commissioners not to accept any testimony that doesn't apply directly to the facts of this case with respect to punishment or responsibility or lack of responsibility. So I think you've kind of won your motion, but I still want to hear from.
I guess to reiterate, my last, this is the 5100 block of Park Heights Avenue, where you have 3 liquor stores on the same block. And there's been constant crime that occurs, and trafficking of drugs, and a lot of hanging out, loitering, and none of the establishments address any issues with respect to loitering or any drug sales. And that's what I wanted to share.
Let me say something to you that I found interesting all the time, and that's the question of whether a bar is responsible for the conduct of their customers once they leave the front doors of the bar. Now, you know that there's been a lot of decisions holding that they are not responsible once they exit the establishment. I think this could be a legal issue to be taken up by the city council because in my long experience in the field of law, which goes back so many years, I hate to even think about it, there are many, many times when the bar is responsible, in my opinion, for what happens once the people leave the front door of the bar, which includes drug dealing, prostitution, and everything else, including trash in the community, urination, and I can think of 100 other things without trying. But I think you're going to have to talk to your legal representatives in elective office to look into this. But right now, I've given you some idea of what we're bound to do. Now, this case here has absolutely nothing to do with that, although this conduct was inside the bar, and we're dealing here with a first offense of dealing with serving a minor. All right, Councilwoman, I'd be glad to hear from you.
Yes. I first want to say thank you for allowing us to testify, because we do represent and are advocates for the community. And I reiterate the things that I have said previously. But this particular establishment, I do want to say, when I do want to share a story as well, is when I first became a council person, to understand the cadet process and how they go to these liquor establishments, it was one Saturday night, about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, I personally walked through that block, and this was one of, this particular establishment has history. It was closed several times for different things. It has a lot of negative history. And from my personal, and as soon as this particular one is the one that really got me here. So I really want you to look at the whole history of, this doesn't have anything to do, I guess, with what is actually taking place and what was found today, but it has history of the same types of things. And as I said, it was closed before for numerous problems, and here we go again.
Now, we can only go
repeating.
back how many years?
This is the last 3 years, but I'm having the card pull so I can go through the history.
So for 3 years, you see, once again, the law
Right.
limits us. It's just like years ago, traffic offenses are wiped out after 3 years and so forth. So a guy might have a speeding record of 25 times, but if he's not in the last 3 years, nobody knows about it. And you, Councilwoman, and the mayor, and the president of the city council, of course, are responsible for the enactment and enforcement of the liquor laws inside the city of Baltimore, although I am a state-appointed official. And, but my job is to enforce the laws as they apply to the city. And so there it is again. But it's before me right now, this evidence. There's no evidence of any prior offense. Correct
Chairman,
me if I'm
yeah,
wrong.
the issue that I think that the councilwoman might be speaking of is in April of 2009, there was a hearing regarding the protest of renewal, and the decision was that it was not renewed in 2009, but we have a new owner,
Well, it's
which
more
I
than-
will
and
assume is
it's more than
Mr.
3 years ago.
Yes,
And that was involved in it. I
Yes.
remember that.
Now, this commission is not afraid to close bars. I can tell you that right now.
Oh,
And also in the future, when I vote to close a bar, I'm going to say that I'm also recommending that the closure remain closed, and that it's illegal, as far as this commission is concerned, to reopen the bar because it's appealed. Now, as a former circuit court judge, I'm in no way saying a circuit court judge doesn't have the right to do what they want to do on appeal. It's more of a statement of intent and the feeling that we have down here when this automatic, in the past, not this commission, in the past where licenses have been closed, where they're a horror to the neighborhood, and for periods of time, and then they're appealed, and immediately they ask for the circuit court judge to issue an injunction to reopen the bar during the period of appeal. Well, we're looking into that. And there's a lot of problems with licenses are a privilege, not a right. And that's the way I'm sure this commission looks at it.
Thank you so much.
All right, now with respect to your case, sir, I'll be glad to hear from you.
Make a motion and submit based on the
What you've
objections
previously
that I
said.
previously said,
And
Your
I
Honor.
adopt what I have previously said, the motion is denied.
Thank you, sir. I call Mr. Huan Yong. Yes. Mr. Yong, you previously been sworn? Yes. Okay. Now, the night that this occurred on February 7, 2014, were you present when the police came? Speak up, sir. Come to the mic. Okay, and you're the owner and the licensee, right?
Yes.
Okay, and at that time, when they came at 11:07, you were not present, 11:12 p.m.?
No, sir.
Where were you?
At the gym.
At the gym?
Yes.
You were working that day,
Yeah.
but you just took off for a couple hours?
Yeah.
Okay, and what time did you get back?
I come back about midnight.
About midnight?
Yes.
Okay, were the police still there when you got there?
No.
Okay, and did you, did your clerk advise you of what happened?
Yes.
Okay, and does that clerk still work for you now?
Now fire same day.
Same day?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you take this seriously about selling alcohol to underage people?
Serious, yeah.
Okay. Do you have a card reader?
Yes.
Do you use the card reader?
Yes.
What is it?
Okay. For the record, could you explain what a card reader is?
That means.
Oh, you mean
ID
about
card.
identification
Yes,
card
sir.
for liquor?
For age, Your Honor.
Age, I mean, I'm
Yeah.
sorry, yeah, go ahead now, you don't,
Okay.
I know what it is.
And you work there, you personally work the store, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you instruct your clerks to use the card reader?
Yes.
If anyone looks, how old do you check their cards?
Under 35.
35?
Yeah.
Okay, you take this very, very seriously?
Very serious.
Okay, now, I want to show you a letter from the Liquor Board.
Yes,
Do you recognize this letter dated November 20, 2013?
yes,
And this is addressed to you?
yes,
Okay, and this says that there was an underage sting operation immediately prior to the date of the letter of November 20, 2013, and they congratulated you for not selling to a minor, is that
Yes.
correct?
yes.
May I have that admitted?
Yes, Exhibit 1 for the defense.
See, I'm good.
All right. I have no further questions.
Any questions, Commissioners?
Done?
Is it the November 2013 letter?
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay, I don't have any questions, but I don't see where it says that there was a sting operation on the date that you stated.
Not the date of this event. I'm
Oh.
saying prior thereto. Someone had checked.
Okay, so, all right, I'm just being real specific. It doesn't say sting operation. It says the Underage Drinking Task Force recently conducted compliance checks in your area and notified the board that you or your representative complied with state law. So that's what I'm reacting to.
Okay.
Doesn't say sting. So let's be clear on that.
Okay.
Anything else?
No, nothing
All
from
right.
me.
Whether or not you've been violating, not violating the law all along is certainly not a mitigation of violating the law. It's very nice, and I'm glad to hear it. And our fine that I'm about to impose, I believe, is very reasonable under the circumstances. $500, I find him responsible, $500 plus costs. How much time does he need to pay it?
30 days, Your Honor.
Commissioners,
Okay.
30 days to pay, and you may make your arrangements.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Call the next case. I believe it's postponed. Thank goodness.
This is Destiny Martin, Carol Weeks, and Kimberly Martin. Royal Blue Caribbean, Inc., trade name Royal Blue Caribbean Bar and Lounge, 5402 A and B Park Heights Avenue. This is a Class A, violation of Rule 401A, and then this is for February 7th, 2014, alcohol beverages sold to an underage cadet. You did get your citation, okay, good. We thought that they might not have gotten it, but
Oh,
they got it.
they did, okay.
This is not this case.
This is this case, yeah, we wanted to make sure that you were served properly. Did you get yours? You weren't served? Okay, because we did have an issue with your service, so that we were going to postpone it, but since
Do you
you're
want to
here.
be heard or not?
Do you want to be
ma'am?
heard now, or do you want to, go ahead.
Okay.
All right, swear all witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Identify yourself for the record.
Detective L.C. Greenhill City Police.
And you are, what is your first name, Miss Martin? Oh, Kimberly. And you are the licensee? All right,
Merrick Thompson, manager.
all right. Be glad to hear from you, Detective.
On 7 February of this year,
And your name, sir?
Detective L.C. Greenhill City Police.
Go ahead.
On 7 February of this year at 22:15 hours, which would have been 10:15 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of VICE, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at Blue Caribbean Bar and Lounge located at 5402 Park Heights Avenue. Again, utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy III with a date of birth for 21 September 1993, same entered the location, sat at the bar, and purchased a Jack Daniels whiskey and Coke, a mixed alcoholic beverage, from employee Keith E. Dickerson, who was working behind the bar of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $8 using a departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then notified your writer via cell phone text message stating, "I got it," referring to the fact he had just made a purchase of an alcoholic beverage inside the bar. At no time did employee Mr. Dickerson ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of SES Vice, observed Cadet McCoy enter the Blue Caribbean Bar and Lounge located at 5402 Park Heights with nothing in his hands. Moments later, members of Vice entered the location of 5402 Park Heights, known as Blue Caribbean Bar and Lounge, and observed Cadet McCoy seated at the bar with the mixed alcoholic beverage in front of him. Your right identifies Mr. Keith E. Dickinson that he had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill from the cash register, and the change was returned back to the establishment. Cadet McCoy was photographed to purchase alcoholic beverage. The alcohol was returned back to the establishment for disposal. At that time, the investigation was concluded, and the establishment was turned back to the operation controller, Mr. Dickinson. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
All right. Do you have any questions of the witness? No, just a question of this witness.
No question.
All right. Commissioners, questions?
None.
No questions.
All right. Be glad to hear from you.
Thank you. This is a case where I must say I'm
Your
very-
name, sir?
Julius Cologne, Park Heights Renaissance,
Mhm.
where I'm very disappointed, only because this, for us, has served as an example of what kind of establishments we should have in Park Heights. They've been very responsible, and to know that they've had a violation is surprising to us. So we had signed, for full disclosure, with Park Heights Renaissance, they had signed an agreement that they would close their establishment even earlier, so not to encourage alcohol after a certain hour. So I have nothing, more than just to say that I am disappointed that this violation happened, and I hope that this may serve as an example of your credibility in the community, but at the same time that you have been credible, and we hope that you continue that and let this not divert away from what you've been trying to prove as an example in this community.
Do you want to ask him any questions? All right, any other questions? None. All right, now it's your opportunity to testify. Do you wish to testify?
I would say one thing.
Yes. And state your name again.
Merrick Thompson, I'm the manager.
Wait a minute, your last name?
Thompson.
Thompson?
The incident can be considered like a perfect storm. The guy came in at about 9:45. Our security was just coming in. Keith, which was the bartender, had just came on at that time. So everything happened in such a way that normally somebody gets checked at the door or at all times. That he came in, at the time he came in, they assumed that he was already been in and had already been checked. The bartender assumed that he got checked. So it was not like something that had ever happened here before. I mean, because we've been checked before and it never occurred. It was one of those things that just, at the time that he came, both people misunderstood him being carded already. I mean, not like he got it at the thing. He just misunderstood. And as you know, we are a well-established place. We give back to community every Thanksgiving. We give thousands of food away to the community, Thanksgiving meals. It's not something that ever happened before or ever would happen. The individual that, and in fact, because of the scenario, because I mean, our rules are set up so way, we had to necessarily let go of the security because there was security there. But like I said, he told us, he thought he was in there already, and they told us that it wasn't in there already. So one of those things that just happened, it was a really strange time. He came, let's say, he came in at like 9:45. He actually didn't write up the paperwork. I mean, they sat around, didn't write up the paperwork and everything else till about 10:15. So basically, it was just like one of those things that just occurs. It never happened before, and actually never happened afterwards. It's just one of those things that just happened at that particular moment, just the way it occurred. It was very strange. I mean, I do apologize. And I just stepped out, in fact, to go around the corner to get something and then come back, and then this is exactly how it happened. It's like, it's one of those things that never happened to us before. It was really, I mean, that's what we request some leniency in that perspective. Was really, we pay for security. And we have 3 bartenders that check ID on a constant basis. It's not like something that the balance of check, but how it happened, it's really a strange thing. I do.
All right. Any questions, Commissioners? All right. Any other evidence, ma'am? All right. I find that, the testimony on your background is good. Nevertheless, what's before me is a first offense. And also, by the way, we have a charter problem. Are your charter in good standing? It is. Did you know about that?
It's, yeah, we found that when we looked up on SDAT that you were not in good standing, so please get that checked out. We'll give you a call back regarding that issue, okay?
I sent in a form because they told me that thing. I sent it in that stated that we were in good standing.
Okay, that's good then.
Good.
Okay,
All right,
great.
it was,
I'll check with
I find you responsible, a $500 fine plus costs. How much time do you need to pay it? 60 days?
Yes.
60 days you have. And commissioners?
I agree.
I agree.
And make your arrangements. Good luck to you. All right, call the next case.
Clarence White, trade name CC Lounge. This is at 4923 Reisterstown Road. This is a Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor, found in violations of Rule 401A from an incident stemming on February 7th, 2014. Alcoholic beverage sold to an underage cadet.
All right, swear all witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, just give your names to the record, please. Starting over here.
Councilwoman Sharon Green, Middleton, District 6.
Julius Cologne, Park Heights Renaissance.
Detective L.C. Green Hill City Police.
Clarence White.
And you're Clarence White, you're licensee. All right. I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective.
Yes, sir. On 7th February of this year, at 22:50 hours, which would have been 10:50 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of ICE, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at CC Lounge, located at 4923 Reisterstown Road. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy, with a date of birth of 21 September 1993, entered this location, sat at the bar, and purchased a 12-ounce Bud Ice beer from employee Erica Q. Pinckney, who was working behind the bar at the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $2.50 using a department or $20 bill, but did not receive change. Cadet McCoy then notified your writer via cell phone text message stating, "I got it," referring to the fact he had just made a purchase of an alcoholic beverage inside the bar. At no time did Ms. Pinckney ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of VICE, observed that McCoy entered CC Lounge located at 4923 Reisterstown Road with nothing in his hands. Moments later, members of VICE entered the location of 4923 Reisterstown Road, known as CC Lounge, and observed that McCoy seated at the bar with the Bud Ice beer in front of him. The writer then advised Miss Erica Q. Pinckney that she had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill from the cash register of this establishment. Cadet McCoy advised your writer he did not receive any change from the purchased alcoholic beverage, but Ms. Pinckney was in the process of returning the change prior our VICE unit's arrival inside the bar. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment for disposal. At that time, the investigation was concluded and the establishment was returned back to the operation controller, Ms. Pinckney. Report forwarded to the board.
Do you wish to ask any questions? The commissioners have any questions?
No.
No.
Be glad to hear from you, Mr. McClellan.
Yes, the location of this particular establishment.
And your name for the record?
Julius Cologne, Park Heights Renaissance, is directly across the street from an elementary school, Langston Hughes Elementary School. And I do recognize that this individual has been supportive of certain community activities, but I would hope that this individual would be encouraged to move the location somewhere else. Being across the street from an elementary school is not an example that our kids should have, as Park Heights is too saturated. The highest density of liquor establishments exist in Park Heights. And this particular one is in an area that we believe is too vulnerable to our young people.
Councilwoman?
And just to reiterate that, yeah, I'm a little disappointed as well in this case. It's not just next to an elementary school, it's next to a church on the other side.
Boy,
And
how did that happen?
And, you know, they do participate in community activities, but I hope this serves as a lesson.
All right, sir, any questions, commissioners or the witnesses?
None.
I'd be glad to hear from you, sir. You were the, Mr. White, the licensee. Do you wish to say anything or ask any questions? All right. I'm ready for decision. With respect to the decision, a responsibility is found, and since this is a first offense, it'd be a $500 fine plus costs. How much time do you need to pay it?
30 days.
In 30 days you have. There's a question here about something about his license.
Well, no, it's the fact that I think you don't have you're not incorporated, so it's just an individual, so we wouldn't have anything on
Okay,
a stat, so
that's
you're
fine.
fine.
And then you can make your arrangement. You're okay. Okay.
30 days.
All right, call the next case.
Yes, sir. It is Lois Smith Finter, and that's M&M&T, Inc. Trade name is Joe's Place, and that's at 6200 Reisterstown Road. This is a BD7. This is a violation of Rule 4.10A. This is again from an incident stemming on February 7th, 2014, where alcoholic beverages were sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear all the witnesses.
Oh, okay. The cadet is on his way. He actually is coming, you're saying? Yeah. Do you want to hold on to this one?
No.
Okay.
Keep going. All right, swear all the witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
All right, and state your names for the record.
Detective Akiwani from Baltimore City Police Department.
Fred Lauer, representing the licensee.
All right, and are they going to testify?
I'm going to proffer their testimony, if it's okay with you, Mr. Chairman?
Yes, it's okay with me.
Lois Finifter.
Derek Dorings.
All right, I'd be glad to hear from you, Detective.
Derek Doremus. Okay, thank you.
On February 7th, 2014 at 11.
Let me ask something, Detective. Are you willing to admit the police report into evidence or not?
Yes, I am, without objection.
All right, then.
And no
the,
cross-examination either.
Mark the police department report on this incident, which occurred on the 7th of February, as exhibit number 1.
Okay.
All right, do you have any questions of the police officer?
None at all, thank you.
All right, I'd be glad to, any questions of commissioners or the police officers?
No.
All right, I'd be glad to hear from you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, Fred Lauer, representing the licensee. I'll proffer their testimony, as I stated earlier. Mr. Demarius is here. He's the assistant manager. He was on duty when the incident happened. And it's no excuse, but he was on the phone coincidentally with Ms. Finifter, and they were talking about a personnel matter at the time. He let his guard down, and he did not look for the ID for this, from this cadet, McCoy, I believe his name is. Since then, he was reprimanded. He also took an alcohol awareness class that Ms. Finifter set up for her employees, and is very regretful that it happens. He lives in the neighborhood, and he's, very sorry, as I said. Ms. Finifter is here. This is, she has taken over the license for her brother, who died a couple of years ago at this place. She also is not, this is not the type of establishment she wants to run. She's worked with the Neighborhood Association, Glen Neighborhood Association over the years. They follow, in terms of loitering and other things, are very diligent about that, and they're very remorseful that this happened. After the incident, Ms. Finifter came to the facility right away. She also, if I might add, has set up the alcohol awareness class for 2 of her additional employees, Mr. Demarius and another. And she has put up more signs in the bar itself. I have evidence of that if the board would like it, of both of those things. And that the signs about 21, and that's for both her employees and the customers to know that they're not going to let this happen. She's taken this very seriously, and she hired me. She disciplined Mr. Demarius. She also, took the alcohol awareness class with a couple of people and put up more signs up. I think she's acted as responsibly as she can after the incident. And I don't have anything further. I have copies of those evidence if the board chooses.
All right, commissioners have any questions?
No.
All right, we accept your proffer, sir, in evidence as if it were testified to. Does it wish to say anything before decision?
I don't know. No, I don't think so.
accept that I'm extremely sorry that this happened, and I do understand my license is a privilege.
Well, I accept your position, and let me say that I don't think that this commission feels that the $500 fine is necessarily very strict in the sense it's because it's your first offense. This doesn't mean that we don't think it's not important, and we also recognize it's difficult to enforce age laws. It's not something that, I mean, a lot of bars make a lot of mistakes on that, and it's not because they want to, it's just because a lot of trickery is going on all the time to try to fool you. And, but in order to be consistent, despite your humility and your apologies and so forth, I vote that you are responsible for the $500 fine plus costs, and how much time do you need to pay it?
2 weeks, Your Honor.
14 days, all right? And commissioners?
I agree.
I agree.
And you may make your arrangements.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Mhm. Call the next case.
1 second, please.
Okay, wait, don't call it.
Yes, sir.
I think they can go.
No,
ahead.
I'm talking about another
Yeah.
case. I'm talking
Oh, no.
about,
Yeah. I'm well, how are you? Good.
good Lord, 6 more.
Okay, I'm sorry. Kum Nan Kim, 1609 Lawrence Street. This is the LLC Club Bar, 1609 Lawrence Street. This is a BD7, violation of Rule 401A. This stems from an incident on April 11th, 2014. Beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear the witnesses, please.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Enter your names for the record.
Kumnan Kim.
First, you, Detective.
Detective L.C. Green Hill City Police.
Leela Michelle Durant, bartender.
And you say your name again?
Leela Michelle Durant.
And you said bartender after that. Mm-hmm.
Leela Michelle Durant. It's
All
it's
right.
hard for me to get all their names
Sure.
unless, if they introduce themselves when they're going to testify, it's a lot easier for me. This is a point of,
Well, you have 2 shots at it. At some point,
this is, when they go one after the other, it's very difficult to keep up.
yeah. All right, your name, sir?
Kevin Kim.
And you are the licensee?
No, me.
You are the
Yes,
licensee?
Kumnan Kim.
Oh, yeah, I see, Kum Nan Kim.
Yes.
And he is whom?
My brother.
And is he on this license too?
Oh, it's my brother, only
He-
translator.
He's just here as a witness.
He's going to translate for her?
Oh, translator. Oh, now we got it. But I still need the name of the translator. What is your name, sir? Who's the translator? You. Oh. How do you spell your first name?
K-E-B-I-N.
K-E-P-I-N? V-I-N. And your last name is K-I-M?
Yes.
Okay. Now we got it. All right, Detective, I'd be glad to hear from you. Go ahead, sir. Your name?
Detective L.C. Green Hill City Police.
And now hear from your testimony.
On 11 April of this year at 23:33 hours, which should have been 11:33 p.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of ICE, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at the club bar located at 1609 Lawrence Street. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy III with a date of birth of 21 September 1993. Same entered the location and purchased a 375 milliliter of New Amsterdam peach vodka from employee Leela M. Dempsey, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcohol that was priced at $6.70 using a departmental $20 bill and received change. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did employee Ms. Dempsey ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your writer, along with members of ICE, observed Cadet McCoy enter the club bar located at 1609 Lawrence Street with nothing in his hands, and Cadet McCoy was observed exiting the establishment with the purchased alcoholic beverage, which was now in hand. Moments later, members of ICE entered the location of 1609 Lawrence Street, known as the club bar, and advised Miss Leela M. Dempsey that she had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Your writer recovered the departmental $20 bill and the change was returned back to Ms. Dempsey. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. The alcoholic was then returned back to the establishment. At that time, the investigation was concluded and the establishment was returned back to the operation control of Ms. Dempsey. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
Do you have any questions of the police officer? Commissioners?
None.
I'd be glad to hear from you. Now it's your turn. Do you wish to testify? She wants you to testify? Okay, come on up. Give us your name again, ma'am.
Lila Michelle Durant. It's Dempsey on my ID, but it's Durant. The night in question, Ms. Kim and Mr. Kevin weren't present in the bar at the time.
You're the bartender?
I'm the bartender.
Were you bartender that night?
Yes, I was working the cut rate and the bar at the same time.
Okay.
So Friday night's kind of busy, very busy, so just running back and forth in between both places. That particular moment, it was hard for me to see the cadet at the window, and I didn't get a good look, and I didn't ask for the ID. And that's pretty much, just my fault that I didn't take the approach of asking for the ID. I have since then, and haven't run into the incident again, thank God. But I've, learned from that mistake that I need to check IDs at all times.
All right, any questions of the commissioners of this witness?
None.
All right. Does she want to testify, the licensee? You want to ask her? Mr. Translator?
Yes.
Does she want to say anything?
No.
No. All right. Anything else, any other evidence? That's it? I find her responsible, and because it's a first offense, a $500 fine plus cost. How much time do you need to pay it?
60 days.
60
please.
days.
Yeah, please.
60 days you have.
Thank you.
All right, you may make your arrangements. Thank you. All right, call the next case.
Pedro Gomez, New Smiling Liquors, Inc., trade name New Smiling Liquors. This is at 2701 Hugo Avenue. This is a BD7, a violation of Rule 401A. This stems from an incident on April 11th, 2014, where alcoholic beverages were sold to a police cadet.
Come on up, folks. Don't be bashful.
This is the letter one.
Ready?
Mhm.
This is, all right, are you familiar with this letter from Mary Pat Clark? Hmm? Are you familiar, are you the licensee, sir? And who are you? Mr. Gomez? Yes. All right. Let me give you a copy of this letter. All right, do you speak English?
Little bit.
A little bit? Do you?
Look at somebody.
It's a critical letter. All right, swear all the witnesses.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
We got one more person needs to swear in.
Just give him the letter to read it.
All right, identify yourselves, please. You're first.
I'm Mark Washington, I'm Executive Director of Coldstream Homestead Montebello Community Corporation. I was asked by Mayor Pat to attend this hearing.
And your last name is,
Washington.
and your first name is Mark?
Mark, yes, with a K.
Okay. All right, Detective, I'd be glad to hear from you. And give your name, of course, when you start your testimony.
Detective Akiwande from Baltimore City Police Department. On December 13th, 2013, at approximately 22:50 hours, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing a police cadet, Philip J. Jones, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at New Smilers Liquors, which is located at 2710 Hugo Avenue. Observed Cadet Jones, who was under the age of 21, enter the affirmated location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet Jones asked for a 40-ounce Steel Reserve, an alcoholic beverage from the store clerk. Jose Alejandro Juarez. Cadet Jones paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $1 $2.85 with a departmentally marked dollar bill, $20 bill. Mr. Juarez accepted the $20 bill and returned change back to Cadet Jones. At no time did Mr. Juarez request proof of age from Cadet Jones during the buy investigation. Cadet Jones then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice units, including Sergeant Leisha, Detective Greenhill, and Detective Jones, Detective Gatto, and myself, Detective Akinwande, entered New Smiley Liquors located at 2710 Hugo Avenue and advised
2701, I have. What's the correct address?
2701.
Check your records.
2701.
All right, go ahead, sir.
Located at 2701 Hugo Avenue, and advised Mr. Juarez that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet Jones. Cadet Jones was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Shelton Jones retrieved the departmental $20 bill from the store register, and change was returned back to Mr. Juarez. The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment. The establishment was left under the control of Mr. Juarez. All events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
All right, now, just for the sake of the court reporter, this Juarez is spelled, first of all, the first name is Jose, Jose, and the middle name is Alejandro, and the Juarez name you keep saying is Jaquez. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right, any questions, sir? Do you want to ask a question? No questions. Commissioners?
No question.
All right. Be glad to hear from you, sir. Mr. Washington, I believe.
Yeah, hi, my name is Mark Washington. I'm Executive Director of Coldstream Homestead Montebello.
Executive Director of Cold Spring Homes?
Coldstream, STR.
Coldstream, okay.
I will be honest, I did not want to attend this hearing. I said to my council person that I thought it would be useless. The business does operate in a vacuum. In what is perhaps the least populated block in our community, it has the most violence. Within the last 3 years, there have been countless shootings and a number of murders, 2 of which occurred inside the premises of the liquor store.
Now, let me stop a minute and let's see what we've got.
Yep, let me get the card file.
We're going to find out.
This is Hugo. Yeah.
We got any violations of the liquor board rules?
No, the reason why I was remiss in coming down here is because we found absolutely no support or cooperation coming from the previous board. I said to Mary Pat, quite honestly, that I felt that this would be another fruitless endeavor. The reason why Mary Pat wrote the letter is because she has been camped out in the 2700 block of Hugo for the last month as we clean debris from behind his establishment and in that 2700 block, as we remove the broken bottles strewn all over the place that his patrons discard. The Northeast District Major Worley has tired of us calling about the issue, and we as a community corporation have really thrown our hands up in frustration in regards to the number of calls that we have from residents in and around the area, particularly those residents on 28th Street. Our only course of action was to simply say, you know what, we have got to demolish this entire area. The business does have a history of negligence. They have violated not only the public trust, but I believe they're privileged to have and operate a liquor establishment. They operated a business at Jennifer and 30th Street in our community, which was a haven for illegal activity. We had that store, through the assistance and help of the health department, shut down. And since that establishment has been shut down, the activity on that corner, the drug dealing, the trash, the debris, has all subsided. In addition to that, we have a concern with Gomez Tires on 25th Street, where we are still in the process of trying to find out why there are so many illegally dumped tires in our community. If there were a business that operated jointly with the community, this would not be one of them. You can call the good council person's office and she'll tell you, yes, I have her camped out in that 2700 block of Hugo for the last month. If you ask the proprietor of the establishment, they'll tell you that there is a tremendous amount of trash, debris, loitering, vacant properties, and just other nuisance activity associated in that block. The question that, you know, we often ask ourselves is how is an establishment allowed to operate in a vacuum with no regard for the community that it surrounds, and not even taking into consideration that adjacent to their building is one of the most horrific illegal dumping sites in the community. Any responsible business would have taken it upon themselves to say, you know what, we're going to be part of the solution in helping to turn this neighborhood around. What they have done is come in, they've capitalized, they profited, they operated a store at Jennifer and 30th that allowed trafficking of illegal and illicit materials inside the store, everything from selling the loose cigarettes to outdated milk and beverages. The tire shop on 25th Street, while we cannot prove that the tires have come from directly from them because there are so many other tire shops in the area, we believe demonstrates a pattern of not only neglect as a business owner, but disrespect for the community in which they're housed. But I am here today because I promised Mary Pat I would be.
Any questions you want to ask him? No questions? Well, let me say that I'm looking through these liquor board inspection reports, and here on the year 10, trash behind the counter by the side door has to be cleaned up. Trash has to be cleaned up from behind the counter, 3 days to clean it up. All right, the next report is 10 again, and nothing there. And the next report is 11, year 11, post liquor license in a public place, keep employee records available for inspection, and clean up inside the establishment. And then the next one is 3/11, and we're clear on that date. And 6/11, we're clear. And the next report is 2/11, has to clean trash behind the counter and by the exit door. Has to fax, it looks like fax, a copy of the 2011
The trader's license, I bet.
trader's license to the liquor board. The next date is clear. And next date is clear. Next date is clear. You certainly had a lot of inspectors going out there. And I don't understand this one. It says have to get certifications put in frames. What's he talking about?
Sometimes the licenses may not be framed, Your Honor, sometimes it's harder for them to be posted, so they're probably telling them to frame the certification so they could be more visible.
Then in the year 12, the same report, put them in frames. And then here we have 12 again, the year 12, send off the trader's license. And here we have 6/19/12, come and pick up your license. And that's, I have here no date on it, so I won't read
Right.
it into the record. All right, so let me ask you, sir, what about all this? What about all this trash and everything?
Everything's clean.
Are there any questions to the commissioners?
I just have one. I just wanted to get clarification. Mr. Washington, was it your testimony that loose cigarettes are being sold from this location?
No, actually, they are being sold because they house the operation. What's being sold are that the individuals stand outside of the property, and he'll attest to this. They buy the pack of Newports, and the individuals that are standing outside the store sell the loose cigarettes. And so what happens is, you know, as I said before, it acts as a magnet for that type of activity. The trash and debris, if you call a council person who was just back there yesterday, she will tell you the debris is not gone. And you know, I'm sorry to be so frustrated.
Yeah, but you see, you're telling what she's gonna say, I mean,
No, I'm saying, that, look,
yeah.
you know, I forgive my frustrations, but we have not had much success with the liquor board in responding.
Well, it sounds like it, but a lot of inspections. You've been in the room, and I've told you previously that all complaints are usually treated privately. And a record is kept, but the inspectors don't know who makes a complaint. But I'm going to say and I'm not going to hold this against you, sir, in this case, but I want you to send out an inspector to this bar.
Yes, sir.
At a time and place that the community feels is the time to send it. So you call my executive secretary.
Is it all right if we coordinate with our council person?
That's fine.
Certainly,
I will
that's
give
what
you
I'm
my
talking
card.
about. And we'll see if we can get to the bottom of this, that's all. All right, now, sir, it's your turn. Do you want to say anything?
Yes, I never sell a loose cigarette.
Say that again?
I don't sell a loose.
I didn't,
He says he
This is
doesn't,
about selling new cigarettes. We
not
didn't
selling
say what it
cigarettes.
was.
yeah, so just
Well, I'm
to-
not holding that against you.
And I keep everything clean. You can go there, you'll see.
Okay. Well, you have had these trash complaints in the past. All right. Anything else you want to tell us? Questions to the commissioners?
Just to clarify, you do sell cigarettes at the store?
Just for packet cigarette.
One pack?
Yeah, one pack.
Okay, and then I think as I'm understanding it, someone will come in, they'll buy a pack of cigarettes, then they'll stand outside and sell the cigarettes. Yes?
One at a time, so the court reporter can catch everything.
All right, so,
It was Mr. Washington was answering your question to him. I got confused.
okay. So you agree, you'll sell a pack of cigarettes, and then it's other people, the person who's purchased the package of cigarettes will then stand outside the store and sell loose cigarettes?
Inside the store, nobody sell it loose. But I don't know what they do outside.
Okay. All right, so you're aware that this is a problem, and it's a problem that's gotten national attention just this week. And so it's not why you're here today. It's something that needs to get resolved going forward. And I hope that you'll be part of the solution. That's it for me, no other questions.
I think we can go to the, we can close it down. That's what you want to do.
All right, sir, anything else you wish to say? All right, with respect to the charge, I find you are responsible. The fine is $500 plus cost, but let me say this to you, sir. I don't, as you can tell from my decision, and I hope my fellow commissioners would agree with me, that I haven't penalized you for all of the various things that are roving around in the air about your bar, but I'm telling you, I've instructed my executive secretary to, in the future at some time, to go out there and check everything. And I'm telling you now, the law is you're responsible for the conduct of your customers. So, and so you know what's coming. And I hope everything's going to be, it's better for us that everything's perfect. I mean, we're not trying to say to you, we hope you get caught for something. We hope you don't get caught because you're going to help the neighborhood and do the right thing. Okay. How much time do you need to pay it?
30 days?
30 days you have. All right, next case.
I agree.
Commissioners? Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Got two more.
I'd like to see her send somebody up there today to verify the trash situation.
Go ahead, sure.
Yeah.
So tobacco can go out, right?
I don't know if you have
The
time.
comptroller's office can
No,
go
they got
out.
night
The
inspectors.
Yeah,
tobacco
good.
issues.
He's going to request a inspection tonight.
Yeah,
Make sure.
we'll do that. I'll
Okay,
make sure.
call the next case.
Young Min Chang and Shirley Payne, CB's Paradise, Inc. That's trade name Club Paradise, 1300-02 Lawrence Street, and that's a Class BD7, violation 401-A. And this is for an April 11th, 2014 alcoholic beverage sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear the witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? I do.
Your name, sir, for the record?
Detective Akiwani from Baltimore City Police Department.
Licensee Youngmin Chen.
Okay, and you are the licensee?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective. Give us your name again and your testimony.
Detective Akiwande from the Baltimore City Police Department. On April 11th, 2014, at 11:05 p.m., myself, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing the Police Cadet Gregory McCoy to conduct an underage investigation at Club Paradise, which is located at 1300 to 1302 Lawrence Street. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21, enter the establishment. I'm sorry, I apologize. Entering the establishment, Cadet McCoy purchased a steel reserve from Maria Bates, DOB 5161. Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $1.50 with a previously marked $20 bill. Mrs. Bates accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did Mrs. Bates request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Unit, which including Detective Sergeant Lisha, Detective L.C. Greenhill, and I, Detective Akiwande, entered Club Paradise, which is located at 1300 to 1302 Lawrence Street, and advised Mrs. Bates that she had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was photographed, photographed with a purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective Sergeant Elisha retrieved the $20 bill from the store register, and the change and the purchased alcohol was returned back to the establishment. The store was left under the control of Mrs. Bates. All events occurred in Baltimore City, state of Maryland.
You want to ask him any questions?
No, sir.
All right, Commissioners?
None.
No questions?
All right, with respect to, it's your turn, sir. We're glad to hear from you.
No, sir.
And your name?
Min Chen.
Okay, Mr. Chang, I'll be glad to hear from you. Do you wish to say anything?
I try not to happen same kind of thing again. That's it.
Well, that's wise statement. Any questions, Commissioners?
None.
No questions?
With respect to the charges in this case, I find you responsible. Since there's no prior record, $500 plus costs. How much time do you need to pay it?
Just right now.
Right now. All right, you can pay it right now, of course, and good luck to you, sir. Call the next case.
Okay, Dante Summers, Summers and Associates Management, Inc. Trade name, The Red Door Lounge, 1000 North Payson Street. This is a BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 401A. This is on April 11th, 2014, that alcoholic beverages were sold to a cadet. And then again, there's another charge of the same rule on April 12th, 2014, where alcoholic beverages were sold to another police cadet.
All right, swear all witnesses.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, I'd be glad to hear from you. Detective, give us your name again
Detective L.C. Greenhill, City Police.
and your testimony.
I'm only testifying to the 12 of April 2014.
Which, 11 or 12?
11, should have been 12 April of 2014.
So there's not the second one?
There's no second one.
Okay, because there's a second one that says, oh,
Yeah, there is a second one.
It's a
This is
different
12th
it's,
of
address,
April.
I believe.
pardon us, it was a different address, so that this is only for the 12th, so,
So this is for 1000 North Payson, correct?
correct.
And then
So it's just the 12th, there was a mistake.
Wondering about that.
Wait a
Yeah.
minute. Let me straighten it out.
Okay,
On the 12th of April, you're testifying as to the location of 1,000 North Payson Street.
That's correct.
And that's all you're testifying to?
Yes, sir.
All right, now let's see which one that is.
So it's the second charge, sir, not the first charge.
I'm looking for the address.
This is all for one, but this is wrong. So this is the second charge only.
Okay. Do you understand that, sir? All right, I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective.
On 12 April of this year at 00:27 hours, which would be 12:27 a.m., your writer, Detective L.C. Greenhill, along with members of Vice, conducted an underage alcohol investigation at the Red Door Lounge located at 1,000 North Payson Street. Utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory L. McCoy III with a date of birth of 21 September 1993, same entered the location and purchased a 375 milliliter of Bacardi Gold rum from employee Dana White, who was working behind the counter of the establishment. Cadet McCoy then left the establishment with the purchased alcohol in hand. At no time did Ms. White ask Cadet McCoy for proof of age. Furthermore, your right, along with members of Vice, observed Cadet McCoy enter the Red Door Lounge located at 1,000 North Payson Street with nothing in his hands, and Cadet McCoy was observed by detectives exit the establishment with the purchased alcohol and beverage in hand. Moments later, members of Vice entered the location of 1,000 North Payson Street, known as the Red Door Lounge, and advised Ms. Dana White that she had just sold alcohol to Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21. Sergeant Leisha recovered the departmental $20 bill and returned the change back to Ms. White. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcohol and beverage. The alcohol was then returned back to the establishment. At that time, the investigation was concluded, and the establishment was returned back to the operation controller, Ms. White. Report forwarded to the liquor board.
All right, you want to ask him any questions?
None at all.
Commissioners?
None.
All right,
No
I'd be glad to hear
questions.
from you now, sir. It's your turn. Give us your name, and you have nothing to say. All right. With respect to my decision, it is that you are responsible for the charge only as to the 12th of April and not the other charge. And the fine is $500 plus cost. How much time do you need to pay it?
30 days.
And you have 30 days, sir. You make your arrangements. All right, and call the last case.
Your Honor, on this one that we're just concluding, it seems like that charge should not have been brought at all for the April
11th?
11.
Mm-hmm.
So just for the record keeping, we should make sure that our records are clear that that was an administrative error
Yes.
and not an actual charge.
Absolutely.
Okay, just going forward.
Yeah, sure, it surely should.
Yes.
All right, call the next case.
Chang Soo Kim, Sun OK Lee, and that's K&M Grace Inc., and this is New Club 909, which is located at 909 North Calhoun Street, and this is a BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. This is a violation of Rule 404.01A, and this is from an April 11th, 2014 alcoholic beverages sold to an underage police cadet.
All right, swear all the witnesses, please.
Raise your right hands, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, state your name just for the record. Detective.
Detective L.C. Greenhill, City Police.
And your name, sir, for the record? You're Chung Soo Kim?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you're the licensee? All right, I'll be glad to hear from you, Detective. You swear, are you,
David Wu representing the licensee, and Mr. Kim is willing to waive the testimony by the police officer.
all right, then, council agrees that the report of Detective Greenhill with respect to the charge 4.01 minor as to 909 North Calhoun Street is waived, and the report should be admitted into evidence as Exhibit 1. All right, do you have any questions other than that, sir?
No questions.
Be glad to hear from you.
Licensee admits.
Yes, does he wish to testify?
He is not going to testify, but just to have the board note that it was a employee who committed the violation.
Want to come over to the microphone? You know, I'm having trouble picking up everything you say.
It is the employee who committed the violation, And he is a good employee, and it's the first time, so. we
Is this
just-
your first offense?
Yes, we just asked the board to note that. Thank you.
All right. All right, therefore, any questions, council, commissioners?
None.
No questions.
Therefore, you are responsible. I hold you responsible for the $500 fine plus cost. How much time do you need to pay it?
14 days.
14 days you have. Make your arrangements. And that concludes our docket. Thank you. Commissioners?
Let's just postpone the one at 3107 to 11 West North Avenue.
Hold on one second, hold on. I don't have it in mind either, hold on one second.
I have it in mind.
Is it right in the last case?
3107 West North
What's the
Avenue.
name of the club?
The club name is Rudy's Liquor, trading as Rudy's, R-U-D-I-E-S,
No, it's not on
Liquors.
here.
I don't have it. It's not.
Myra Struggers?
Yes, Sturgis,
Sturgis? Okay.
Well,
No.
can I,
Yeah, it wasn't posted in the regular posting, but we got letters.
are you prepared to testify in this case? Yes, All right, call the case.
Well,
Let's wrap it up.
it's not on the agenda, that's the problem.
Well, we got everybody here, and we got it, it's partly on his agenda, Commissioner Jones.
I know, that's weird.
Well, come on, folks. let's-
Okay,
Let's go. Let's put it on the agenda and let's go. Everybody's here.
here's the, okay.
Call the case.
Okay, sir, yes, I'll read it. This is Myra Sturgis, Timothy Sue O, 3113 Corporation. Trade name is Rudy's Liquors, 3107-11 West North Avenue. This is a BD7, a Class A beer, wine, and liquor, violation of 401-A, sales to minors, January 31st, 2014 was the date of sale to an underage police cadet.
All right. Raise your right hands and swear. Go ahead. Swear the witnesses.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony that you're about to give in this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth?
I do.
All right, and your name, sir, for the record?
Detective Akiwane from the Baltimore City Police Department.
And your name, ma'am? And you are the licensee. All right. I'd be glad to hear from you, Detective Akawande.
On January 31st, 2014, at 10:38 p.m., I, Detective Akiwande, along with members of the SES Vice Unit, utilizing Baltimore City Police Cadet Gregory McCoy, conducted an underage alcohol buy investigation at Rudy's Liquors, which is located at 3107 to 3111 West North Avenue. I observed Cadet McCoy, who was under the age of 21, entering the aforementioned location via the front door. Once inside, Cadet McCoy asked for a 40-ounce bottle of Still Reserve, an alcoholic beverage from the store clerk. Tus Dul, Tus Bakta. Date of birth, 1.
Who's this, the clerk?
Yes.
All right, spell it, please.
The first name is spelled Tsoodol. Last name spelled Tsogtbaatar.
All right, are you okay, reporter?
Yes.
All right, go ahead, sir. He was a salesman, and what happened?
Cadet McCoy paid for the alcoholic beverage, which was priced at $2.28, with a previously marked $20 bill. The store clerk accepted the $20 bill and gave the change back to Cadet McCoy. At no time did the store clerk request proof of age from Cadet McCoy during the buy investigation. Cadet McCoy then notified members of the SES Vice Squad, including myself, of the alcohol violation. Moments later, members of the Baltimore City Vice Units which is Sergeant Detective Lisha, Detective Greenhill, and myself, Detective Akiwande, entered Rudy's Liquor located at 3107 to 3111 West North Avenue, and advised the store clerk that he had just sold an alcoholic beverage to a person who was under the age of 21, which was Cadet McCoy. Cadet McCoy was photographed with the purchased alcoholic beverage. Detective L.C. Greenhill retrieved the departmental $20 bill from the store register. The change was returned back to the store clerk.
2009 was the last one.
The purchased alcohol was also returned back to the establishment. The store was left under the control of the store clerk, and all events occurred in Baltimore, state of Maryland.
Do you want to ask the detective any questions? All right, does the commissioners have any questions?
No.
Therefore, it's your turn, ma'am, to speak if you wish to.
Yes, I'd like to say, the young man, he.
And your name, just,
Marva Sturgis.
and then you're the licensee.
The young man, he's no longer there, and we told all the employees about FID. He was really aware of it, just that at this particular day it was busy, and he, was having problem home with his family, and he was calling on the phone, which we don't allow. So it was like a family gamble, and he wasn't paying attention. You know, and I apologize for that, but, usually he's a good clerk. He brought him out of FID, just that just at that particular time, he wasn't paying attention to what he was doing. He usually did.
And this is, you haven't had any offenses of this nature?
No.
All right, any commissioners, any questions?
No.
No questions.
Therefore, with respect to the case involving a Rule 4.01A, sale to a minor, the responsibility is yours, ma'am. And the fine is $500 plus cost. How much time do you need to pay it?
30 days.
You may have 30 days.
Thank you.
Good luck to you. Now, you want this, or can I give this back to you?
You can keep that, sir, I got it.
All right, any other cases sneaking in? None? And
There was,
we're,
we had another one, but it's not, I don't have it on the thing, and it's the 28th, so we will have to reschedule this one.
All right, and therefore we'll stand in recess until next week.
Thank you.
Councilman, how you doing, sir?
I need to see your other hat.